your cheek, you grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day, and see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada, prices exclude delivery.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone.
It's so spectacular. Seen him make threes when he was in Memphis.
The Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trail, meet Santa and his friends, and shop from the crowdy local artisans and vendors with hampers, gifts, and other treasures. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. People are happy.
With Veneers right down the middle over to Eberle, and he scores with foot to the arm. 2-1 Seattle.
From Richard Leslie and the staff at Brett Ridge Ford in Wetaskiwin.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Great twice all of last year.
On Sports 1440.
Finish has been so spectacular. Yeah. Seen him make threes when he was in Memphis all day.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
With Veneers right down the middle over to Eberle, and he scores. A foot to the arm. 2-1 Seattle.
Well, a tremendous Tuesday afternoon. I almost forgot what day it is. Kind of get lost track of time as we near the Christmas season. Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Hopefully you will be entertained for the next few hours. We'll take you right into the pregame show at 6 o'clock with Walker and Paulson, the final game before the holiday break, as the Oilers and the Flames. The first half of a home and away tonight in Edmonton, Saturday night in Calgary. In between, there'll be some turkey or ham or whatever else tickles your fancy, whatever your food of choice is at Christmas time. And away we go. So we got lots and lots to discuss on the show today. We'll start out. We're going to go to Calgary. Ryan Pinder will join us. Brian Diardo will talk some NFL, the final week for fantasy football players. We're getting into the playoff push. There's a lot of positions now secured after last night's Colts loss. And by the way, did the 49ers look good? They looked really good last night. And I'll say this, though, for a 44-year-old, Mr. Rivers didn't look that bad at all. Honestly, like when you consider the guy hadn't played in 5 years, going up against a really good San Francisco team, they just they couldn't go toe-to-toe with them. But you look at the playoff picture now, you got the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Chargers, the Bills. They're in. The Pittsburgh Steelers need one win, and they will punch their ticket to the playoffs. The Houston Texans also one win. They've won 7 in a row. One more win, and they are in. In the NFC, the Seahawks, the Bears, the Eagles, the 49ers, the Rams, they have punched their ticket. Green Bay is currently basically a game and a half up on the Lions. All right. Is my math correct there? 19 to, game and a half up. So Lions are in tough. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers just lost to the Panthers, and the Panthers in the driver's seat with 2 games go. Who would have had the Panthers making the playoffs at the start of the year? Not me, but good for them. Now, they might just be roadkill for the 49ers or the Rams, because whoever finishes 5th is going to go to Carolina or Tampa Bay, and I don't care who it is. I'll be picking the road team in that one for sure. For sure. Coming up on the show today, we got lots to discuss. The Edmonton Oilers, Connor Ingram will play his 2nd consecutive game for the Oilers. Kind of expected that. Why wouldn't you? Played well in his first game. Let's see what he does. Found out today that his brother Mark was a 2-time All-Canadian safety for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. Big football fan. Connor actually did play high school football. In his words, he was terrible as a defensive lineman. He goes, I didn't have the personality to be in the trenches. So, but he loved playing football. He's a huge Riders fan, big football guy. Says, you know what, early on, the great part about being in Canada for him is just, you know what, there's the cold weather. Hey, if you grew up in the cold, you don't mind the cold. A lot of ODR. He was telling me about high school. They used to have to get up because he's from a small town, of course, like a hamlet. They didn't have a high school football team. So they travel. They would get up at 5 a.m. to go practice at 6 a.m. It's pretty dedication, man. If you want to play small town, that's what you got to do. So good for him. But he was also joking with me about how, you know, when he's into Edmonton, he obviously hadn't played in 272 days in the NHL and wasn't sure he'd ever get back to the NHL. And he said, man, it was kind of weird. Like, I kind of felt like a rookie again. I'm like, where do I sit on the bus? Where do I sit in video room? And he said, obviously, the guy's been very welcoming, but he's excited to be back in. And now you take on the Calgary Flames. Tonight, the Flames, hey, they played well. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games. So the Oilers, who are 7-2-1 in their last 10, they've scored. They're on fire offensively. Their offense has really picked up. Their first 27 games, they averaged 3 goals a game. Their last 10, 4.4. Their offense ratcheted up mainly by Draisaitl and McDavid. Those 2 leading the charge. Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Podkolzin, and Savoy. Their top 6 guys are all scoring. Got some guys in the bottom 6 that need to get going. But when your top lines are scoring that much and you're averaging 4.4 goals against, offense isn't your issue. The Oilers would like to reduce their goals against, and they'll see if they can do it tonight. The Calgary Flames are not a run and gun team. It's not their MO. So you're the Edmonton Oilers. You want to try to get a lead. Force Calgary to have to open things up a little bit. So we'll talk about that. Also, it is our final day of Month of Giving. We've had a really good month. It's been fantastic. I love the generosity. We got one more day. And today, we started this last year, and people liked it. So I said, you know what? If they like it, we'll try it again. So today is our Christmas challenge, where you can, we challenge different people if you want to match the donation, or we're going to help the Christmas Bureau. I spoke to Stephanie there, and they're in pretty tough right now. So we're going to try to help out as many people as we can today. So here's how it's going to work. So you can, hey, we'll take donations 1, 2, 5, whatever the challenge is, and away we go. So we do a lot of the fundraising, help out a lot, but I always don't feel comfortable asking everybody to donate if I don't donate. So on behalf of my company, we'll put in $1,000 to the Christmas Bureau today, and I challenge all the other business owners who want to make a donation to follow through on that. If you have it, if you can, on behalf of your company or whatnot, 833-401-1440. We already had actually this came in because people had put it online, and we got this from our buddy Chopper at Century Vision Care. He is challenging all of the other eyewear places to a $500 donation. If you want, anybody who's any eye doctors. It's a loose term, doctor, but we'll get away with it today, right? Now it's not pre-med like Struds, but hey. So yes, $500 from Century Vision Care. Thank you very much, Chopper, and everybody down there. So rock and roll. Also, Cheryl is challenging all of our lady listeners to a $100 donation. She's going to do 2 of them. She says $100 from Cheryl. I like it. So any of our female listeners want to match that one? 833-401-1440. You want to make a challenge? Way you go. That's how it works. It's pretty simple. So 833-401-1440. Now I have a number in my head that I would like to get to. I'm not going to say what it is right now, but we'll see how the show goes. And if we get to it, it'll be pretty awesome to help out the Christmas Bureau today. So it's your final day. You know what? Maybe you've been waiting to help out. Well, today's your day to do it, or maybe you're just like suddenly feel like, you know what, I can jump in and get in on the action. So 833-401-1440. Other news and notes: the Edmonton Oilers got a little luck last night on the out of town scoreboard. The Anaheim Ducks losing to the Seattle Kraken 3-1 in Anaheim. Now, it was really Grubauer. The Ducks played great. They outshot them 41-21, but Grubauer stood on his head, stopping 40 of 41 shots. Also in LA, the Columbus Blue Jackets are getting big returns early on from Mason Marchment. Marchment scored in his first game, and last night scored 2 goals, including the game winner. So he has set the franchise record in Columbus for most goals in the first 2 games for a Blue Jacket. He's got 3. So good for him as they go into LA and defeat the Kings by a score of 3-1. So the Edmonton Oilers, they win tonight because the Ducks aren't playing. They could move into a tie for first place in the Pacific Division. Now, Anaheim would have a game in hand, but the Oilers would have one more. Right now they have more regulation wins than the Ducks, but the Ducks have won more in the shootout, where the Oilers are over in the shootout so far this season. Now, Vegas is also playing. They're taking on the Sharks. If Vegas happens to win, we could have a 3-way tie for first place in the Pacific Division. Vegas does have 3 games in hand on the Edmonton Oilers and would have 2 on the Ducks. So, you know what? Games at hand only help you if you win. Otherwise, meh. So, there you go. You look at the standings. The Calgary Flames, as I mentioned, are 6-2 in their last 8 games. They are 5 points out of a playoff spot in Utah, but they're also only 2 points out of the basement in the Western Conference. And probably a team we haven't talked about enough, the Winnipeg Jets in the Western Conference. Now they're tied with Vancouver. They have a game in hand. Only the Chicago Blackhawks have fewer points than the Jets in the entire NHL. There is bigger expectations, I was thinking, for the Winnipeg Jets this year, but this season has not gone very good at all for the Jets, at all. So can they find their stride? Like if I had to pick somebody of those bottom teams to think, hey, they could turn it around, because there's the Flames, the Jets, the Canucks, the Blackhawks, the Predators, the Kraken, I'd pick for sure the Jets. But man, they're not looking good right now. And I'll be curious to see what happens in Winnipeg if all of a sudden they can't turn the season around, because on paper, they've got a little bit more skill than what they're showing. Connor Halley is here. Conman, what did you make of Monday Night Football? Brock Purdy, 5 touchdown passes. Oh, my goodness. McCaffrey and George Kittle had himself a hell of a game.
Yeah.
They look good. Now, is the Colts defense bad, or is that just that offense that good?
I think a little bit of both, not to sit on the fence, but I think, when Brock Purdy's at his best, they're scheming up good things. He makes right decisions. He's like the point guard out there. He just distributes the football and lets his playmakers make plays. Christian McCaffrey, I would say he and Jahmyr Gibbs, without a doubt, the top 2 dual threat backs. You can do so much with him. So, yeah, I think the Niners offense is really good. If they can get a couple of members back to that defense, they can be even stronger. But the Colts defense didn't look good to me. They were just giving up too much space. Also, Gregor, I will challenge the fathers out there of kids. Let's expand it. No, 5 or younger, $100.
$100.
Yeah, kids are expensive. Let's do 100.
All right, that's fair. I like it. To all the dads who have kids 5 and under, I like it. 833-401-1440, 833-401. Brad from United Tool Supply, on behalf of United Tool Supply, they're in for 1,000. Nice. Attaboy, Brad. So we're rocking and rolling, and we are off today to help out the Christmas Bureau, who definitely could use our help today. So if you want to get in on it, 833-401-1440. So we got $100 for any of the fathers. Got kids 5 and under. We got any of our lady listeners from Cheryl challenging $100. And we have a challenge to any of the other eye doctors from Century Vision Care. They're in at 500. So, and any business owners, we put out the challenge for $1,000. So if you want it, you can make your own challenge, any amount. Be great. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Coming up also on the show today, I mentioned Struddy will be by. Mark Masters. We'll talk a little World Juniors, which, of course, get going right around the corner, man. Gets going on Friday. Spec, DVD will be by. So we got a loaded show for you today. It's also Festivus. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but we do have a poll here in studio, right here. It's a nice poll. So we'll probably air some grievances later on today. Which could, I'm sure a few of you have some grievances. If I wanted to guess what would be the most popular grievance, I think I know. I'll write it down, Connor, on a piece of paper. And I'm going to guess based on our audience, I would know what the most or the biggest grievance would be. So, we'll see where it goes. 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province of PlayAlberta.ca. And I just got to say, have you been using the Jason Gregor Show bonus ones? You should have, because we hit again last night, Cons. We had the 49ers. We had a parlay, 49ers winning, and the over. The 49ers got the over themselves. That was easy money. Easy money. So today, we got 3 of them for you if you want to check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. We have one has the Oilers winning by 2 goals. McDavid getting an assist. Another one has a McDavid 2 points, Draisaitl 2 points, Hyman getting a point. And the other one, a Jack Roslovic. Welcome back to the lineup with a goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. So if you want to get in on that, you can at PlayAlberta.ca. Always stay within your limits, right? Small amounts makes it a little bit more enjoyable, less risky for sure. So you can get in at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, looking at we got a few texts coming in on the Oilers. Hey, Gregor, I know you mentioned, but I don't remember the year. When was the last time the Oilers won the division? Do you think it matters? Nick, yeah, the last time they won was 1987. And I do think it matters. It doesn't guarantee that they're going to go to the Stanley Cup final. They've been to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row without winning the Pacific Division. So you don't need it. I just, when I look at all the extra little things, if you can give yourself fewer flights, why wouldn't you? It's just that simple to me. So that's where I think it matters, right? You get to start on home ice in a series. You got the home ice advantage with an extremely loud and rambunctious crowd year after year. Would be awesome. Awesome. So see where it goes. We got to take a break. And when we return, we will talk a little Flames with Ryan Pinner on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood.
Troll down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open. Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. But hurry, it ends January 2nd. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. But hurry in now, it ends January 2nd. Wolf GMC Buick, where everyone wins. Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake. But it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada, prices exclude delivery.
Reason number 59 why Nissan is built for our winter. Because when winter storms make on-road feel like off-road, we've got you. Road comes standard with intelligent all-wheel drive and remote engine start to conquer even the harshest winter conditions. Now, lease a 2026 Rogue S for 0.9% for 36 months. Or get $4,000 cash purchase bonus on remaining 2025 models. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
A mullet for Marvin, a bowl cut for Barry, a pompadour for Peter, who's now really quite hairy. After this Christmas, all the men wish they could get some hair restoration from Dr. Vance Elliott.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. While you're Christmas shopping, consider giving yourself the greatest gift of all, a full natural head of hair. I know the results will be life-changing. Want to make this the year you get your mojo back? Book a free first consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tall Boy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Ho, ho, hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Cheer on the teams. Help a good cause. The Benz Cup is coming to the Ardrossan Recreation Center, December 26th to 30th. 100% of the proceeds help the Ben Stelter Foundation bring proton beam therapy to Edmonton. Learn more at benscup.com. Proudly supported by Sports 1440.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian and 69-cent wings, plus play, score, and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
And then 223, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. So we had United Tool Supply and now Hughes Petroleum. Darren and everyone at Hughes, they're in to match for $1,000. I love it. So any businesses out there, let's keep it rolling. $1,000 for that. We got any dads who have kids 5 and under wanted to match Connor Halley's $100 donation for the Christmas Bureau. They could use it. Cheryl's challenging any of our lady listeners, $100, and Century Vision Care at $500 for all of the eye doctors, eyeglass places. So there you go. Want to make a challenge? We're helping out the Christmas Bureau today because they're in big need. So away you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, boys, it's Playoff Al. Happy Tibbs Eve to those from the Rock. Yes, Tibbs Eve is unique tradition. It's really only celebrated in Newfoundland and Labrador, but it's a big deal. So it's one of those things where, you know what, maybe you should go there just for fun to enjoy Tibbs Eve. Maybe it's kind of like Festivus for the rest of us. So.
Is that why TR is busy today?
It might be. It's probably celebrating a little bit too early. Yes. So that's very... That's actually, you know what? Maybe it's like a statutory holiday that we don't know about. He's like, dude, I don't work on Tibbs Eve. Okay. So
that was essentially the memo. Well, he was willing to, but he said the party starts early. So I said, TR, enjoy the time.
There you go. So that would make sense. TR's never met a party he doesn't like. Now, keep in mind that it's, it's 5:30. It was at 6 o'clock. No, it's 3 hours. So it's 5:30 where he's at right now. So come on. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Cons. That's what they say, right? Isn't that the song? 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah from everybody at goauto.ca with over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. If you're looking for a last second gift, they got some big bows if you need it. Get a big bow in the car. Could be good. Good. So, all right. It might actually be 3.5 where TR is. So, Newfoundland's 3.5. Is it not, Cons? Yeah.
Yeah. It makes things tough when he and I are trying to figure out times.
Oh, yeah.
That 30 minutes for some reason.
That 30 minutes sets you guys up. Hey, what time is it there? Noon. What? Connor's like, oh, it's 9 here. No, it's 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Central, Eastern, it's easy.
You should just ask him, what time is it there right now? And then he gets back to you. Okay. Now I know the difference. So you just keep it. Ryan Pinder is going to join us momentarily. We got him right now. Ryan, how you doing, my man?
Jason, how are we? Big game day. Happy Tibbs Eve. I've got a Tibbs Eve party tonight, which I'm assuming from what you said and what I know that it's a Newfoundland tradition, and we're going to screech a bunch of people in and not sleep enough. That's what I know of it.
Well, you know what? That sounds like a very good definition based on the little that I know about it and then the 3-minute research that I did during the commercial break. So that sounds like a perfect Tibbs Eve, which is right up our buddy Terry Ryan's alley. So I could see that making sense. The Calgary Flames 6-2 in their last 8 games. They're playing well. I know, but I see some Flames fans like, why are we winning? Where do you come out? Like, you can't ask players to lose. Like, it's impossible.
No.
But management can help the team lose if they want to make moves on guys. And we know Rasmus Anderson. I watched the after hours interview. I kind of got the impression that I think they're going to part ways before the trade deadline. Maybe Blake Coleman. I don't even know about Nazem Kadri. How big of a sell-off do you think the Flames do between now and the deadline?
It's the $1 million. It's the $1 billion question for the owner, who's quite involved with the day-to-day on the team. Look, they are not an awful team. They have structure. They work hard. They have goaltending. They can have the better goalie on a lot of nights. But I just don't look at this roster and think that if they're status quo, they're ever going to have a chance to be a contender. And that's clearly what fans want. And if you look at this fan base specifically, I mean, you had a run in 2004 and you won 1 round in 2014 and 1 in 2022. I think this fan base is itching for a sustainable contender, and they've had a couple good draft classes. They've got a nice cupboard of prospects, but they're missing one thing, and that's a superstar to build around. And they don't have a 1C. And so there's only one place that you can, over time, have a good success rate getting them. It's not via trade. It's certainly not via free agency. it's at the top of the draft. And so when you start the way they did with a miserable October, it was not hard for fans to start clamoring for, Mission McKenna or go get Verhoff, or is it this Stenberg kid that's playing great in Sweden, or is it the top center, Tynan Lawrence? Whatever, just go get a star. The problem is that they're now playing well. And I think it's even, if you zoom out from that 6-2 mark, I think it's like 8-4-1 or something like that. Like they've really played quite well. Their best hockey of the year. Since I think early November, they've been much better on the goals front, the goals forefront, where they were dead last in the league. The power play's gotten better. Their penalty kill was miserable for a month, and now it's been very good. And Rasmus Andersson's playing great. So, I think he'd like to be here. I think they like the player. I don't think that they're going to agree on a long-term relationship because, Rasmus is in a window to win now, and this team's still years away, and he's probably in decline when this team is ready to start contending for a Stanley Cup if they can start, turning these prospects and picks into really good players.
Yeah, it is. It's going to take a while for sure. Now, they have the new arena coming. Basically, it'll be ready at the start of the 27-28 season. I've been following up on it. They think they might be ready by June or July, so you can move in and get everything ready. And you know what? That's obviously going to create a lot of excitement. My understanding is it's going to be a little bit. Edmonton's got a really nice rink. It's a little bit far away, some of the seats from the ice. I'm hearing Calgary might be a little bit closer in certain areas. That will be a big deal for them. So really the importance, Ryan, is you look at their amateur scouting because, part of the job is, okay, we got to get the top pick, but then you got to make the right top pick, right? And Calgary's never had a top 3 pick, right? Which is
never.
So one of the few teams who hasn't, and you probably don't need one, but when you look at Celebrini and you look at Bedard and obviously McDavid and Draisaitl and other guys, like you're bang on when that's your best chance to get someone, right? Like you can luck out and get a Kucherov, every now and then, but it's pretty damn rare to get a superstar later on. And
right.
Do you think the organization's committed to say we might have to take 2 or 3 swings at that? Because as we saw last year, the Islanders can come out of nowhere and win the lottery, right? So do you think that they're prepared to have a few years of struggle?
I don't know. I don't think they're preparing for struggle. I think they're probably more prepared to try to make a run at 8th in the West, which I think is incredibly short-sighted. But I do sort of wonder about the conversations that are happening behind closed doors. You've got a management team that I think Craig Conroy is probably very aware of, what he can get in return for veterans. He understands the age of these players. Like Nazem Kadri's a great player. He'll be 36 next year.
Yeah.
He's not going to play till he's 106. So at what year is he ineffective? And are you willing to take the risk of getting caught holding that bag? Because he's worth assets now. And when he's not a number 2 center anymore, he won't be at $7 million a year. So the real question is, how much can management and the owner agree on how far to strip back the vets? Like, you're married to Huberdeau already. That's an immovable object with all the signing bonus money that's tied to it and the term and his lack of production. And you've got some good young pieces, but this is not a group that you just keep together and you're going to win with. You need to make some hard decisions on veterans. And so I think if you can convince the owner that, if you look beyond a few quarters of business and to the sort of like 2, 4, 6, 10-year plan, there's lots of money to be made if you have a superstar. And look no further than Edmonton. I mean, they had 10 years where they were a laughing stock. Daryl Cates had the lowest winning percentage of any pro sports owner in North America. And it was okay because you ended up with 2 superstars at the end of it, and you've had them for a decade, and you're printing money in a new rink, and everyone's got a jersey, and you can charge $20 for a beer because they're superstars. It doesn't work that way if you're a middle of the pack team with no stars, and you're going to be asking people for more money for the same seat, the same beer. It better not be the same team, because this team's missed 3 years in a row. And despite an excellent month, they're thousandths of a percentage point from second bottom in this league. So don't get, caught drinking your own Kool-Aid that it's a good group. We had 96 points last year. It's like, right, but everyone's a year older, and they're going to be worth more the closer they are to their prime versus the 19th hole of their career. You want to get guys out of there while they're worth assets. So I don't know that they're worried about so much pain. That's not my fear. I think there'd be a lot of people raising their hands saying, we need to do this. We need to do this quick. We need to do this while these these guys are worth assets. My fear is that they actually might think they're good, which when you listen to Don Maloney speak when they played Buffalo a month ago, they've been on a heater since then, and they were last in the league at the time he made the speech, or second last. And my concern is the opposite of Kane. It's that you think you're good, and what might be a 3 or 4 year turnaround turns into a decade.
Yeah, wow. And it's hard though. Like trust me, having watched you, I did a lot of studying on rebuilds, and there's the rare one that turns quick. Most of them, it's a bit of pain. In Calgary, even though they haven't, quote, been in a rebuild, they've already missed the playoffs for 3 years. So
they have, yeah.
So you could argue that, hey, man, we're almost halfway there. You might as well go pot committed in there. Rasmus Andersson could get you a boatload, no debate. And I'm with you, Ryan, on when it comes to Nazem Kadri. Like, teams are dying to find a second-line center right now.
Yeah.
And he's still on pace to score 70 points this year. And you know what? Maybe he could have another year or two good years for you, but what does that really do to the Flames organization unless they're like, well, hey, he's going to help mentor Cole Reshny and other players like that, right? Like that's really the only upside I can see in keeping him. Not that he's a bad player, but just in the timeline of where the Flames are going, his skill set, you'd be better off getting some really good young assets over him.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the same conversation with Rasmus. Is he a good player? Does he want to be here? Could he help mentor young defensemen? Absolutely. But if he wants Jake Wallman money, and I think he's better than Jake Wallman, he probably deserves more than him. I just don't see that lining up with this team's window to win. If you're the Oilers, you pay the guys that are good now. If you're the Flames, you want guys that can contribute to what you hope is a contender in 3 to 5 years. So this is the real big conundrum and challenge that the management team have to struggle with, and then sell to the owner, because he's a guy that certainly isn't going to say, I'll check in once a year. It's probably 365 times a year he's checking in with the GM. And they've got some decisions to make. They're playing great hockey right now. They were the worst team in the NHL for the first month. The truth's in the middle somewhere. So how close to the middle and how close to the bottom at the end of the year is, the team's going to give you one answer, but to your point, management can help. If you liquidate Coleman, if you liquidate Rasmus Andersson, if you move Nazem Kadri, they've got a glut of wingers. If you move someone like Joel Farabee, like, you've already got kids ready to start taking those spots, but you certainly help your cause in the lottery odds. And it's not the old lottery that, they keep tweaking it. Some teams won 4 and 7 years or something. You had to keep changing the rules. I don't know if you noticed that, Jason, but now it's only 2 pulls of the lottery. So if you finish dead last, the worst you can pick is 3. And when I look at Stenberg and I look at Verhoff and I look at McKenna, we've seen Detroit finish dead last and pick 4, and it's like the wah-wah. If you're picking top 3 this year, I think you're thrilled.
Yeah. Well, 100%. And you need a few of those. The truth of the matter is, that's just, Edmonton got McDavid, he's unreal, but they also got Draisaitl, and that helps. They had Crosby, and you had Malkin, and you had Backstrom, right, and you had Ovechkin, right? Like, you need Taves and Kane. Like, it's rare to just have one. And,
right.
Even Colorado, they had McCarr, and they had McKinnon, and they had Rantanen. Like, you need a few of them to do it. Zane Perrick, where's he at right now as far as, I know his, kind of his season, and they thought he was too good to go back to junior, and then, couldn't go to the American League. Kind of, how do you see his season going in the second half here?
Well, he's only played about 11 games, I think. Yeah. And he has 1 point, and that was maybe the worst stretch of hockey the Flames played. They couldn't score a goal for their life. They were on track to beat the 2014 Sabres for the lowest scoring season in the modern era of hockey. It was never going to last. It was just a team not playing well. So I feel for him, because that was the window he got to be an NHLer in, and it wasn't really his fault. Then he gets hurt. The talent's undeniable. The vision's undeniable. You can see that there's a high IQ offensive hockey player here. But since getting injured about a month ago, he's now off to World Juniors. You'll see him in a big role with Team Canada. When he gets back, where do you find a spot for him, and what does he look like? It's a great question. I'd hope you see a confident puck-moving guy that can be an asset on the power play. But if we're being honest, if Rasmus Andersson and Mackenzie Weegar and Hunter Brzustevich are all here, those are all right shot guys. So it's almost another reason you should move on Andersson soon. And I know Frank Saravalli had the report this week that, this is something they'd like to get done before the Olympic freeze. That'd make a lot of sense. They've got a lot of kids coming. Like, to your point, it's not like, oh, we're going to pretend we're not rebuilding. Like, Elias Lindholm, traded him. Chris Tanev, traded him. Nikita Zadorov, traded him. Like on and on the list goes. They parted with a lot of very good players. They have been rebuilding. They're afraid to say it publicly. They don't want to use the word. They are. And if you can open up a little playing room on the right side, his underlying metrics are really good. Like he outshot his opponents when he was on the ice. It's his first 12 NHL games he's ever played. And I think it's kind of an Evan Bouchard profile, which is a polarizing one. The mistakes make highlight reels, and the offense is undeniable. Can you live with the 5-bell highlight reel mistakes? The answer better be yes, because I think it's going to be pretty similar to that.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, you can live with them in the regular season when you don't make any in the playoffs like Bouchard does, right? Like Bouchard in the playoffs is an elite defense, and really even in the regular season. He'll make a few big ones and people freak out about it, but then he makes a lot of really good plays. I'm taking a guy with skill all day long.
Yeah, agreed.
Because you can always, guys always get better, right? Like they'll make fewer mistakes. And you know what? For one mistake for 10 or 12 really good plays all day, I would take that trade off. What about a guy like Blake Coleman, who's got 1 year left? You know, he's $4.9 million, really solid, third line guy, probably maybe even a second liner, depending on where you want to fit him in. Do you think he gets moved? And what do you think a return would be for him?
Well, I think he's a type of team that everyone can fit. The cap's not a number that's unmanageable. He's got winning pedigree. He's got the 2 rings from Tampa Bay. It was him, Gaudreau, and Yanni Gourde that they put together and won 2 cups with as a third line. He's tenacious. He's got a great work ethic. Feet are still good. Gets a ton of shots to net. Like everyone has room for a Blake Coleman. And the word is from insiders, they've received calls from 20 plus teams on him. Like, my hope for the Calgary Flames front office is that the offers are so good you force yourself to do it, because you can talk yourself into the mentoring the kids thing, but you're going to move them in a year anyway. Again, it's going to help you with your draft position if you liquidate a Coleman. But I look at what the Tampa Bay Lightning gave up for Yanni Gourde and Oliver Bjorkstrand last year. It was 2 firsts. Like that's a serious haul. Yeah. I think you're asking for a first with Coleman. Given the types of teams that want to add him, parting ways with pick 27 to 32, that's probably less than a 50-50 bet to be an NHL player. I'd make that trade every year if I'm a contender. It's the reason you see teams like Edmonton moving their firsts every year, because they're not going to be high. You're in a window to win, and you're trying to get an asset in that's going to impact your team in a 7-game series. That's what he's built for. I didn't like in 2022 the play of Tkachuk. He was hurt. I didn't like the play of Gaudreau against the Oilers. I didn't like Lindholm. I thought Rasmus and Hanifin had an awful series. Clearly, Jacob Markstrom wasn't good. The line you could set your watch to was Coleman, Backlund, Mangiapane. And that's Blake Coleman. It's playoffs. It's 7-game series. He's done it before. He knows what it takes. The money isn't hard. They're going to get really good offers on him, and I think you could get a first if you put him to market. You're not just selling one playoff run. It's next year, too. Whether they decide that's the direction they're going to go or not is the question, and how they play between now and March 6 or whatever the deadline is probably is the other factor.
Ryan, great stuff, man. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the game, home and away with the Oilers and the Flames with a 3-day Christmas break in between. All the best to you and yours and everybody at Flames Nation. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Honestly, it's always electric when you get the 2 Alberta teams, and then you throw it over the Christmas holidays, and one of them's on a hockey night. I think these 2 barns are going to be absolutely buzzing, and that's how it should be. We haven't had a lot of years with some good buzz. If it was late October, this could have been ugly, although both teams probably weren't that good. But I think both teams are probably playing their best hockey of the year. It should be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.
There you go. That is Ryan Pinder from Flames Nation. Good rundown on the Flames and kind of where they're at. It's a tough decision because you can never ask players not to play. But management you can look and say, we might have to remove the guys from the equation. Otherwise, like Calgary doesn't want to finish 9th or 10th or 11th. That doesn't do you any good. I know the Islanders, but that's kind of a one-off. They lucked out, right? The odds are usually your bottom 5 team, you're going to have a much better chance to get a lottery and then stay there. And sure, even if you're not number 1, you can get good players at number 2. Heck, you can get really good players at number 3. Okay? Or number 4, Cale Makar. Sure, a little bit more of an exception, but top 3 historically, you can get some really good ones. Now, today isn't Positive Friday, but it might as well be because we just got. So So today is our challenge, or we're looking to help out the Christmas tour. They're a little bit shy, and we want to help as many people as we can this Christmas. So we started out, we're looking for any type of donation you want. If you want to challenge someone, we got challenges for $100, $500, $1,000. It's awesome. We got United Tool Supply, Hughes Petroleum. They match my $1,000. Awesome. We got $500 for Century Vision Care, challenging all the glass places. Connor Halley's challenging all the dads to $100. Okay. Cheryl's challenging all of our lady listeners to $100. Awesome. We had a gentleman who wants to remain anonymous, which is fine. I'll just say that we'll call him Big D. Okay. And Big D, on a Tuesday that's not a positive Friday, but should be, donated $5,000. So now this really changes the game all of a sudden, because I had a goal in mind, but now we can get even higher. We got a realistic chance to get to $145,000 now to help us out and for the whole month, for the month of giving today. So that kind of, the goal was to get to 140. Well, now with that, now we can get to 145, which is phenomenal. So if you want in any companies out there, any individuals want to make $1,000, $500, $200, $100, whatever you like, we're looking to help out the Christmas Bureau. And how about this? Like, I like this text, but I also loathe it at the same time, only out of jealousy. Only out of jealousy. Our buddy Barry at Cook County, many of you know Big Barry, great guy. He's ran Cook County for years. Hey, Greggs, I'm listening to you in Mazatlan. It's plus 28. Not wanting to rub it in, but I would like to match your 1,000 on behalf of Cook County. Nice. Lounging around in Mazatlan. Are you kidding me? But hey, you know what? That's the wonders of technology now. You can stay close to home listening to the show. So Cook County and Barry's in. There's another 1,000. Awesome. We are getting close. We can literally get to 145 here. So if you want to help us out, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Very much appreciate it. Text in with your amount and your email, please, because then I can send you where to make the payment in conjunction with the Christmas Bureau. It's super easy. Make an e-transfer. You get a tax receipt. It's awesome. Okay? So 833-401-1440 on a lovely Tuesday afternoon here on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. Ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free. The elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned, with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie, and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The holiday break was made for Oil Kings Hockey at Rogers Place. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat.
This Family Fun Sunday in Ice District, your Edmonton Oil Kings face the Lethbridge Hurricanes in the annual Dino Day game.
Enjoy the kids' fun zone with face painting and bouncy castles. Dinosaurs will be roaming the concourse all game and playing games at intermissions.
Plus, for Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is T-Rex sized.
Oil Kings, Hurricanes, Dino Day, 4 p.m. Sunday.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
He's heading into the driveway. Temperature's dropping fast, folks. He opens the hood and, oh no, the battery's on thin ice.
Yeah, that's a tough break, Tim. I mean, you can't expect to compete and win with weak parts in your game like that.
But wait, he's made a clutch move. He's gone to Napa Auto Parts for the win. They've got batteries, winter-grade oils, antifreeze, and wiper blades built for cold Alberta conditions.
That's a championship play, Tim.
With over 85 Alberta locations, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$249. Oh, awesome. Niz and Eddie and the gang at Rocket Gear are in for $1,000 as well. And they haven't seen Rocket Gear, man. It's unreal. Now, I noticed that they've expanded, and Alfonso Davies is making it big in Europe with Rocket Gear for soccer training and stuff. So that's awesome. So I love to see local stories, man. I love to see local guys that are starting something and it's going big. So Niz and Eddie, thank you very much from Rocket Gear. In for $1,000. Also, Declan Kruger is challenging everybody who's 30 and under for a $100 donation today. So you can text in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Jerry has matched Connor Halley's dad challenge, so he's in for 100. And what a dick! Not Larry, not here. Spec sends in a text. Hey guys, $100 challenge for any listener who ever heard of Jason Gregor take and thought he's full of it. Spec. Screw you. But that's funny though. That is pretty funny. So, hey, you know what? You make a challenge for anything. I like it. Jeez. You know what, Spec? The problem with that is you're not going to get anybody donating on that one. Come on. None of those. Now, if it would have been a Spec take that's full of it, whoo, God, we might break the bank. We break the bank on that one. I love it. So there you go. We're having some fun on the challenges. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau today, which is fantastic. Or, you know what? We've had somebody who is, hey, Gregor, I want to make a donation to another small charity. Are you okay with that? Of course I am. So, yeah, we'll tell you about that in a sec. Sure. I love it. Now, let's get to our NFL report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home to no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca. The NFL playoff picture is getting clearer. Not fully there yet, but the loss last night by the Colts punched the ticket for 3 teams in the AFC. They're probably going to make it anyway, but once you're confirmed, they can't take it away. You could lose the rest of the way in, but guess what? They are in. And there are a few teams now that are locked in the AFC. The Bills got put in for sure. The Chargers, the Jaguars, now they're locked in as well. The 49ers punch them their ticket to the playoffs. Seahawks, 49ers, and the Rams, all from the NFC West, are going. They're all 11-4, 12-3. And Brian Diardo from CBS Sports joins us to discuss it. And Brian, the 49ers last night, how much of that is their offense looked unreal, and how much of it was the Colts defense just isn't maybe that good?
Well, hey, Jason, always good to be on with you. And that it's a good question. I think going into the game, I think that's kind of what they anticipated was, and again, they're facing Phillip Rivers, who at 44 is kind of a unicorn and a very unique matchup where they don't know what to expect, right? And I don't think anybody was expecting him to throw the ball as much as he did. That being said, I think that game, I'm not too concerned if I'm the 49er fan in terms of allowing that many points, 27 points. I mean, you got the pick six, so that kind of evens things out a little bit at the end of the game. Whenever they needed to make stops, they did. And I thought generally they did a good job against Jonathan Taylor, who many forget, 4 or 5 weeks ago, before the losing streak of the Colts, was considered as an MVP candidate along with Matt Stafford and Drake May. So no, I think, the offensive success, as you alluded to, I think that's more on the Niners. I think, Juwan Jennings has really stepped up and evolved. Brock Purdy's continued to play well coming back from the injury, and McCaffrey, made the Pro Bowl this year, and it's getting hard for running backs to make it. I mean, Derrick Henry didn't make it. Saquon Barkley didn't make it.
Yep.
He's, a great player. So no, there's, in my opinion, watching last night's game, nothing to be concerned about if you're a 49er fan.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, no, not at all. They looked really good. And I will say, man, I thought for a guy who hasn't played in 5 years, Phillip Rivers looked not bad yesterday.
No, it's honestly a little shocking how good he is. And I will say, it seemed like yesterday and I'm not knocking it at all, he was very conservative in the first game. And I think the game plan for last night was to open it up. But I thought on his pick six, for example, he would have been better served checking down Jonathan Taylor. So, but that being said, they're not going to make the playoffs or have a chance if he's playing safe. No, 23 of 35 for almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Most starting quarterbacks will take that stat line any day of the week.
Looking at there are a few questions leading in. The Panthers, they got a huge win this past weekend. Now they kind of control their own destiny against the Buccaneers. The Bucs have just, the first 5 weeks of the season, people were like, oh, look at Baker Mayfield. He's been unreal. What's happened?
Well, I think all their injuries have started to catch up. They've got guys playing different positions on the offensive line. The running backs, they've been dealing with injuries there throughout the season. It seems like it's funny when Bucky Irving came back, I think a lot of people expected that to kind of spearhead the offense. It's actually been the opposite. They've had more success with Rashad White for whatever reason. And when I thought Evans and Godwin came back, they'd really take off. So it might just be getting back into rhythm. And we saw that with the Steelers this year. All the new pieces on both sides of the ball. It took them, 13 weeks to start to find their rhythm. So I think that's what it is with Tampa Bay. Call me naive, but I still think they're going to win this division. They've got a much easier Week 17 opponent than Carolina. Okay. And they face each other head to head. I still think Baker and Bryce Young's great. No knock on him at all. He's played great this year, but I still like Baker Mayfield, that matchup. Okay. And I think Baker's playing banged up for sure. We've seen a drastic difference in his play when he's healthy versus not. I don't think he's right. All that being said, I still think Tampa Bay is going to find a way to win this division.
All right. What about the NFC West? Because the Seahawks and the 49ers have a game head-to-head. Seahawks are 12-3, 49ers and Rams are 11-4. And they're all good, but I'd still probably rank the Seahawks third just because I don't trust Darnold in the playoffs.
Here's the thing. I agree with you, but are we wrong? Are we going to be way too late to the party? But I'm totally with you. I think going into last week's game that they won unfathomably, they were second in the league in points scored and points allowed. And Sam Darnold just made the Pro Bowl over several quarterbacks, including Jared Goff. So, it's odd because, like you, I think they're the third best team in that division, quite frankly, because I don't really trust, Sam Darnold. But they continue to win games. They continue to win games in miraculous fashion. I will say they might not be the best team, but I am sold they're the most complete team in that division. And getting Rashid Rashid Shaheed during the trade deadline, who also made the Pro Bowl, had a touchdown during that comeback last week. You know, the running game doesn't knock your socks off, but it's deep with Charbonnet, you know, as a very strong backup and red zone threat. So I don't know. Maybe I'm starting to convince myself live here on the radio with you that they are better than third, because again the stats continue to show it. I might think you could twist my arm into saying they're better than San Francisco. They're still not the best team in that division, even though they just fired their special teams coordinator. I think the Rams are still the best team. People forget that they didn't play without they did not have Devontae Adams when they lost last week. I think if he's back and they're at full strength, they're still the best team in that division. Then we can argue about who's second between the Niners and the Seahawks.
Brian Diardo from CBS Sports joined us. Brian, it was a crazy finish to the Lions-Steelers game. And the Steelers end up winning that game. The Lions now, they need to win out, and Green Bay basically has to lose out to get in. But Green Bay with no Jordan Love, you wonder, now I don't know for sure if he's going to play or not, but they've got Baltimore who still has a chance to make the playoffs, so they'll be desperate. Meanwhile, Detroit's in Minnesota. Minnesota just lost their quarterback. You know, this looks like a game where, the Lions, my goodness, they have to win that game. But what do you make of the Lions and the Packers, and who do you like to get in?
Well, real quick, if I may, the funny thing is, too, if the Ravens lose on Saturday night, it makes the Steelers' last two games meaningless.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which makes the DK suspension kind of moot. He's going to lose money. It still stinks for him. For the team, it's not that big of a deal. But it makes you wonder, are they going to rest for 2 straight weeks? And Mike Tomlin didn't even know until this morning that the Ravens, that game was Saturday night and that their fate already may be sealed Saturday night. So that's kind of another interesting subplot. So between the Lions and the Packers, I still think Green Bay's the better team. The Lions' defense is pulverized. They've had way too many injuries. They haven't been able to stop a cold the last couple of years. Even last year with Aaron Glenn there. I mean, I know a lot of people are making a big deal about losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. The Ben Johnson loss, as we can all see, has obviously affected the team's flow on offense. Defensively, they were bad last year. They've been bad for a couple of years on defense. So this is a recurring issue that Dan Johnson has to fix. Now, when you look at Dan Campbell, rather, when you look at the Packers, they were my Super Bowl pick when they got Micah Parsons. Obviously, Parsons being out really hurts them, but they've still played really hard the last couple of weeks. I think Jordan Love's a gamer. I do think he's going to play this weekend. And the other issue, too, with them is Josh Jacobs has been banged up as well. So they're not just – and Romeo Doubs. So both teams are dealing with a lot of injuries. I think, Green Bay is the better team, though, and I think that they are going to scrape out a playoff berth. But if they don't, Matt LaFleur's job, which was already getting scrutinized after their 5-3-1 start, I do think his name is going to, I don't think anything's going to happen to him, but I do think that fans are going to call for his head if they don't make the postseason.
Well, Dan, interesting on Dan Campbell. A lot of people are like, man, was it his coordinators who made Detroit that good? Because, hey, he's ultra aggressive. There's no question about it. And when you're aggressive, it doesn't work. Everyone wants, he's too aggressive. Where did it come out on Campbell's decisions a lot of times on fourth down this year?
I think he's ahead of the curve because now teams are going for it all the time on fourth down. I mean, the Steelers went for it 3 times the previous week. They went for it again on Sunday. I think he was ahead of the curve. My questioning sometimes is the flow of the offense because as we all know now, he's taken a much heavier role in the play calling. Some say he is now the new play caller. The game against the Steelers, going into that game, the Steelers have been spotty this year against the run, specifically against really good running backs. And we all know that Detroit had Jahmyr Gibbs, who made the Pro Bowl, David Montgomery, who's kind of their hammer. They ran the ball 12 times for 15 yards. In the second half, 1 rushing attempt. They became, and some of that's because of the fact they were losing and behind. They needed to throw to get back in the game. But they were so one-dimensional. I mean, if you're the Steelers, it made it very easy to play against. Also, they got in rhythm in that game when they started to go up-tempo, no huddle, because that made it less hard for their injury-depleted offensive line, and it also negated the Steelers' pass rush. The question is, if they had a more savvy play caller, do they go to that earlier? So, I think that Campbell's taking some unnecessary heat because I think the injuries, Jason, is the biggest reason why they're in this predicament. They've had more injuries than most teams deal with in 2 years, let alone 1 year. Yeah. But he clearly needs to change the play calling or improve the play calling going into 2026.
The Miami Dolphins looked absolutely awful without Tua as their quarterback. And hey, that guy is not without some concern, but he's clearly better than what they had. What do you make of the whole Tua situation? Do you go back to him quickly and say, hey, you know what, maybe we made a mistake, or do they got to stick with this and be like, I guess he's not going to start the rest of the year?
He's done, unless they pull an Eli Manning, late, during that situation and yanked it back in. But he's not Eli Manning. He doesn't have that cachet, right, of a borderline Hall of Famer, 2 Super Bowls, all that stuff. They've given up on him. And I think once they got to 6 wins and they had that little winning streak, I think that obviously compelled Mike McDaniel to feel much, much better about his job security going into next year. And once they were eliminated, he had decided, okay, now we're going to pull the plug on Tua. We can start afresh. Jason, this is my just speculation. Okay. Reckless, maybe.
Okay.
I think that obviously his on-field play has not been totally up to snuff of a Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, other guys in his draft class. However, I think it's more off-the-field stuff, or maybe combining with off-the-field stuff with the on-field play that led to this. He got a lot of criticism after the loss to Pittsburgh that knocked him out of the playoffs for laughing with Jalen Ramsey's former teammate after the game. You would think when you just got knocked out of the playoffs, you wouldn't be kind of joking around like that. So I think that, and he also kind of aired some dirty laundry about the team earlier this season that he had to publicly apologize for. So I don't even know if it's as much on the field as more off the field might be mirroring or convince McDaniel that, hey, this isn't the right thing. We need to go in a different direction.
If I had to ask you today, who would you pick as your Super Bowl winner and why?
Oh my gosh. I should know that. This should be easy. Seattle, I'm kidding. After everything we just went through. Let's go. I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams because they're the team that at this point is the healthiest.
Okay.
They have maybe the best quarterback this year, Matthew Stafford. They've got the best receiving duo in the league in Nakua and Adams, and they have a defense that's very, very, very tough. And I think they're going to learn from that loss to the Seattle. As we all know in sports, sometimes losses like that are good, right? It helps refine things, or a lot of wins sometimes mask deficiencies. Well, that game kind of exploited some of their weaknesses. So if you had to twist my arm right now, I would pick them over. Let's go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo, even though, and the AFC's wide open. I think the NFC, maybe only a couple of teams can go. I think it's wide open in the AFC, but I would say right now, Buffalo with the Rams winning.
Buffalo and the Rams. Ooh, all right. Okay. Well, Brian, thanks so much for always helping us out throughout the year. We really appreciate it. We look forward to talking to you in 2026. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll talk to you again soon.
That sounds great. Thanks, Jason.
That is Brian DiArdo from CBS Sports talking NFL. We'll take a quick break. We got some more donations to get to. It's the final day of month of giving. We had a great first hour. We'll continue on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. You're looking for, you know what, man? I don't want to cook. Well, that's okay. Go to meals.loca.ca. You can order the meals you like, healthy, chef prepared, and they'll deliver it right to your door. Meals.loca.ca.
This is a sports 1440 update.
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the Calgary Flames just after 7 o'clock down at Rogers Place. Puck drop set for 7 o'clock. Pregame comes at 6 here on Sports 1440 with Andrew Walker. One game currently underway in the second period. Leafs up on the Penguins 2-1. Later on today, you've got the Red Wings and Stars. The Rangers taking on the Caps. Sens host the Sabres, Panthers in Carolina. Wild up against the Preds, the Sharks in Sin City. And the Kings up against the Kraken. In the association, the Raptors travel to Miami, taking on the Heat. That one gets going at 5:30. You'll also have the Bucks and the Hawks. Cavs host the Pelicans. Bucks in Indiana. The Spurs taking on the Thunder, and the Suns host the Lakers. College football today, right now. Louisville leading Toledo 21-9 into fourth quarter. Later on today, you got the New Orleans Bowl between Southern Miss and Western Kentucky. Then at 7 o'clock, it is the Frisco Bowl, Ohio and UNLV from Frisco, Texas. And from the golf world, Brooks Koepka time with Live Golf is over. He originally joined the tour back in 2022 and won 5 events over 4 seasons. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Masters of TSN as we look at the World Juniors. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter decorates a gingerbread house.
Wow. What did you do here, Mr. Rooter?
Well, we've got a Jube Jube toilet, complete with an icing-based wax seal. The main water line is licorice, red for hot, black for cold. You got your standard marshmallow hot water tank and a candy cane sewer line. And on the outside, candy corn hose pips. Disgusting, but they get the job done.
To have your Yule clogs fixed, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Tuesday. At PlayAlberta.ca.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
Connor Halley, Sports.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need
awesome.
And help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their
Great, thanks,
customers.
Jake.
And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. But hurry, it ends January 2nd. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. But hurry in now, it ends January 2nd. Wolf GMC Buick, where everyone wins.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake. But it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee. Still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tall Boy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
312, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Always brought to you by playalberta.ca, where tonight, $80 million, not 80,000, $80 million and 43 max millions up for grabs at playalberta.ca. So good luck with that. Hopefully you win. Ooh, mama. That'd be big. That would be really big, and could be good news for you. So,
Gregor, you usually say the insert name of lotteries. 80 mil.
Yeah.
Who's 80? Nick Antropov?
Nick
Was he 80?
Antropov. Yeah, Nick Antropov was it. Oh, Martin Marinson. The Martin Marinson of lotteries. Yeah.
Maybe we go Jerry Rice.
Yeah, Jerry Rice would be a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better. But Martin Marinson did give us the first time Struddy became an announcer moment, right? That's when Struddy cut the cord from being a former player to being a broadcaster. It was Martin Marinson, where Struddy he had enough, and he went off on Marty Marinson on, quote, looking like he's getting in the shooting lane, but not getting in the shooting lane. God, I wish we would have had that. Oh, that was the first time I'd ever really heard Struddy rant, and he was fired up. It was awesome.
But Marinson was 85.
Marinson was 85?
Yeah.
On the orders?
Yeah.
Really?
I can give you number 80s. There's two of them.
Oh, what's the other? Is it the other defenseman I'm thinking of?
Marcus Niemelainen. Or 80, and then Brizgalov.
What?
Yeah.
You could have given me 100 guesses. I would have never got Brizgalov. Really? Martin Marinson was 85?
Yeah.
Oh, there. See, there you go. Goes to show. Not that memorable.
But I remember that rant because Struddy came into the studio and said I had nothing to talk about. And then Marinson gave him that.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. That was his moment.
That was his moment. The coming out party for Struddy. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. So remember, it's positive. It's not Positive Friday, but we're acting like it's Positive Friday. It's our final day of the month of giving. We had an unreal first hour. So today is our challenge day for any of our listeners. And we've got some challenges out there for you to match. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau. They're a little shy of their needs this year. So we want to try to help as many as we can. And it started out. So we have Connor challenged all the dads. Any dads out there? Originally it was for kids 5 and under. And then the guy's like, well, I got a kid older. Can I donate? Of course you can. So we'll just say any dads. $100 donation. Declan challenged anybody who's 30 and under to a $100 donation. We have Cheryl challenged any of our lady listeners, $100. We have Century Vision Care at a $500 challenge for any of the eyeglass eye doctors or eyeglass stores to get in on that. And I put out a $1,000 challenge for all of our business owners. And we've had a few step up. We had Barry at Cook County. We had Darren and everybody at Hughes Petroleum. We had Brad at United Tool Supply. Also, we had Niz and Eddie at Rocket Gear are in. And we just got, hey, speaking of Struddy, Brad and Scott from Tennecore are in for $1,000. They also said if Struddy needs it, they'd be willing to transplant some of their hair. Because those two, well, especially Scott, I don't know if you've seen his hair, Con. This guy's like the Fabio of Edmonton. You should see his locks. It's unreal. And so Tennecore is in at $1,000 as well. And not a business, but Daryl came in and matched. He put in $1,000 as well. So man, we're off to a great start here. And how about this one from an anonymous listener? We're just going to call him Big D. $5,000 from Big D today to help out the Christmas Bureau. So any other business owners? Hey, you can step up. It's a final Tuesday. Had a good year. So you know what? We can help some others. Put some good karma around the business. Anybody at 100, 200? We're getting closer to where we want to be to end the month of giving. So we could use a little bit more. 833-401. Well, I might as well just put it out there. We need about if we could get I got to double check my math. So let me double check my math at the commercial break, and then I'll tell you exactly the number. I like to have a goal, And anytime we reach the goal, that's a good day. That is a really good day. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg's, have you touched on Saravelli, on Marc-Andre Fleury? Well, we've had lots of texts about it, Brad. I haven't got into I'll say this. I think the Edmonton Oilers, you've got Connor Ingram here. You have your starting goaltender hurt. Here's the perfect opportunity to kind of find out what you have in Connor Ingram. Connor Ingram, 2 years ago, you look at his 2 years in Arizona, he was pretty solid on a team that wasn't very good. Right? And then he had some trouble, and you know what? He had to take care of his mental health. He's talked openly about it. He has OCD at times, and it can, well, I don't say at times, you have it all the time, but sometimes it can be a bigger issue, but he's kind of learned how to deal with it, which is awesome, and control it. It doesn't control him. He controls it, which is awesome. And so now you have a chance to see what you have. Marc-Andre Fleury hasn't, did he train all summer? Is he in shape? There's a lot of questions to be asked here. When was the last time he was on the ice? So I get that he's a future Hall of Famer. I understand all of that. But has he been skating? If not, how much time would he need to get in shape? There's lots of questions. So I would think you would look and say, well, let's see what we have in Ingram first and kind of go from there. That's my guess. Right? Like you can't just keep running. It's not like, forwards where, hey, we got 12 forward spots. We can have too many wingers. Like you don't need that many goalies. So I would say right now, like we'll have to monitor it. I'd like to see some video, right? Alan Walsh's agent. I'm sure if Marc-Andre Fleury started skating, we'd see a video of it. Because that's what you're going to need to see, right? So we'll kind of go from there on that one. I could see, hey, if Marc-Andre Fleury, like, trust me, if you want to come back, you want to come back to a team that got a chance to win. Well, Edmonton, you got a really good chance to win. I know some people out there are like, well, yeah, but the Oilers, they're missing this. Yeah, they're good. The Oilers are good, okay? They'll probably make an addition or two between now and the trade deadline outside of Marc-Andre Fleury and would make the team even better. And then who knows? Maybe they bring him in. It's not going to cost you anything. That's the advantage. You don't have to give up any assets to get Marc-Andre Fleury. But when you haven't played that much, how much does he have left? I don't know the answer to the question. I really don't. So I could see, though, Marc-Andre Fleury's not that old, right? I could see him wanting to come back, right? And I'm sure Connor Halley, all of us, because you know what? I remember I've talked to a lot of players, and you retire and you think, you know what, I'm done. And then all of a sudden, you know what? Some guys are done, and they're like, man, I don't ever want to work out again for a while. I'm out. But then some, all of a sudden, they're like, you know what? Like, I still got the itch. And if you have the itch, I can understand why you'd want to scratch it again as a player, because there's nothing else in your life that's going to be able to scratch it exactly that way. Now, we've seen some athletes switch to different sports, not the same sport, in a different field. There, guys have gone from football to curling and other things like that, where you want competition, right? It's not the physical aspect per se all the time, but it's competition. So I could see Fleury coming back. Do I think Edmonton's the obvious one? It's going to depend on what happens here over the next few weeks. Let's see how they do without Tristan Jarry. That would be my initial thought on that. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. We got Struds. Struddy's coming up a little bit later on. We got Mark Masters talking some World Juniors. Tater. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch and more. Trent Frederick, who's back in the lineup tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
We focus on building a culture of collaboration, innovation, and respect. Our teams work together, supporting one another and striving towards shared goals. We're committed to creating a work environment that empowers individuals, values teamwork, and ensures everyone feels respected and safe. With decades of experience in the field, GS Construction prioritizes our people, our culture, and safety. This is what makes us unique. To find out more, go to gsconstruction.ca.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seater chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
After 20 years, Canada's most prestigious international hockey tournament returns. The Camrose Viking Cup, December 28th to January 4th at Encana Arena. Tickets at vikingcup.ca. Brought to you by Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. December is here. Christmas shopping, Christmas wrapping, Christmas baking, grocery shopping. What about our vehicle? Does it need tires? It's not running? No problem. We got you covered. At Northgate GM, we have a tremendous selection of newer used vehicles, winter tires at cost, and of course, service with a smile. Come in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old man managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next "where'd I put my phone" moment.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Local links to homes and businesses across the province. Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Cool, a real country music edition, little Christmas song today. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Bill came in. He was going to match Connor's challenge for dads, but said he's going to all the grandpas out there at $100 from Grandpa Bill. Nice. Attaboy, Billy. We like it. We like it. So there you go. We got the dads and the granddads now in at 100. And so I was doing my my math equation during the commercial break. So We are, if I do my math, we need about 3,800 to get to the goal today. I think it's very doable. So we're looking at $100 challenges. We got $500 challenges. We got $1,000 challenges for any business owners or businesses for $1,000. Any eyewear, any eye doctors at 500. Dads, granddads, any of our lady listeners, anybody under 30. I think we've got it covered pretty much. If you're living at that point, right? It's pretty good. You can fall under any category. So that would be great. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can text in. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau today, and it's looking pretty good. So thank you very much on that. 833-401-1440. Oilers taking on the Calgary Flames tonight. Tonight, and then they have 3 days off, and then they'll play again. And before they return, though, it's the return of the World Juniors. As we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, where it's going to be rocking next Wednesday evening on New Year's Eve, because Brett Kissel will be taking the stage. A thing I can guarantee: good music, a really good cowboy hat, black. Should ask Kiss, because we were scouring the internet the other day. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him without a black cowboy hat, except when he sings "O Canada." Then obviously he takes the hat off. I understand it. But we're going to have to talk to Kiss. Does he have like a white hat? Does he have a brown one? Is it only black? I don't know. Check it out. But in concert, you can get your tickets, silenticecenter.com. Very easy, very simple, and a great way to ring in the new year with family and friends. Mark Master won't be there because he'll be at the World Juniors from TSN. He joins us now. Mark, how you doing?
Doing all right.
I like it. The World Junior teams, we see Team Canada, and this was they went with kind of all their big names. This is the first year I can recall in a long time that there wasn't a lot of, this guy got left off and this guy got left off. Oh, they missed this guy. Everyone's kind of like, I think they brought the best team. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to win, but it seems like there's not as much controversy around who's on the team this year.
I agree with that. I mean, when the roster came out, there really wasn't a lot of discussion about okay, this player got left off. That was a huge talking point last year in the lead up to the tournament, with Zane Parekh, Beckett Seneca, Michael Misa being left off or cut at camp. So yeah, I agree. It just felt like people kind of were like, yeah, that makes sense. So a much different feel with just the roster this year, that you didn't really have that. I mean, there's always guys that are having a good year, and you could, suggest they should be there, but Canada decided to bring fewer players to this camp, right? They basically almost named the team right away instead of having a selection camp. It's part of the changes they've made this year to try and switch things up after a couple of tough years at the World Juniors. They only ended up having to make 3 cuts. They do end up cutting the OHL's leading goal scorer in Merrick Van Acker, but, it kind of just made sense in a lot of the decisions they made. So it was interesting this year not to have that kind of, discussion raging on as the camp played out.
Look, you mentioned that decision for them to say we basically kind of had the team picked. And I can understand that. You've seen all this. Like, what are they really going to show in 1 or 2 games that's going to drastically change, their opinion of a player? And, you look at the makeup of this team, Mark, what do you see as the strength for Canada?
The strength is in goal, I think. Certainly with the 2 returning players, first time ever, Canada has had 2 returning goalies. Carter George had the best save percentage at the World Juniors last year, even though the team had a disappointing overall result. Jack Ivankovic is having an incredible year in the NCAA down in Michigan. And also, if they need him, Joshua Ravensbergen's a first-round pick and, would maybe be the starter for a lot of teams at this World Junior. So incredible depth in net. Coaching should be an advantage. Dale Hunter, reigning Memorial Cup winning coach, has done it all at the junior level, including winning a gold medal at the World Juniors in 2020. Coaching, goaltending, and then incredible depth up front. what is it, 13 first-round picks, and the 14th guy is going to go first overall probably in the next NHL draft in Gavin McKenna. And then defense, I guess you could say maybe there's a weakness there. They would have loved to have gotten Sam Dickinson on that left side, but it's still a pretty good group as well with two NHLers, Zane Parekh and Harrison Brunek on the right side there, kind of anchoring the top two pairs. So, it's a great team up and down the roster. Very, very strong Team Canada.
Yeah, well, they do look very good. Who do you think is going to be their toughest competition? Is it clearly the U.S.?
It might be the U.S. Sweden, I think they just beat them. Sweden just beat Canada 4-2 in a pre-tournament game Saturday in London, Ontario. It's probably between the Swedes and the Americans, but, don't sleep on the Czechs. That's the game on Boxing Day. Czechia has knocked Canada out of the last two World Juniors. They've been a thorn in the side of the Canadians. So that will be a tricky opener. There's a lot of emotions involved in that game. 6 returning players for Canada. I'm sure will be eager for revenge. So might be a bit of a nervy start for Canada. But yeah, Sweden and the U.S., just in terms of pure talent on the roster, probably is what you're looking at as the top competition. And they are both in the other group, in the preliminary round. So won't see them until the knockout stage if it happens.
Mark Masters joins us. Of course, the World Juniors gets going on Friday. Canada, once again, will be one of the favorites. Gavin McKenna, there's lots of pressure on him, as lots of other players, but, he's a guy that a lot of people thought was going to be the number 1 draft pick. And some years it seems like, if he's being number 1 too long, people start trying to find holes in his game. I know he had that, the unfortunate play earlier. What do you make of McKenna and kind of maybe all the hype and pressure that's on him leading into this tournament?
He's certainly not shying away from it. I mean, the first day of the camp, I asked him, what do you, just how are you feeling going into the tournament? He's like, I've heard a lot of chatter about my season and it fires me up. People saying it's been underwhelming and that his status as the projected first overall pick is perhaps up for discussion now in a way that it wasn't at the start of the year. So he's a pretty motivated guy. That there's some pressure that comes with that. He had the 1 goal in the 5 games last year at the World Juniors that happened on Boxing Day, and then he just could not build on it. Now there was a lot going on with that team last year. No one really got going. I mean, Canada's leading scorer was tied with 3 points, Easton Cowan and Braden Yager. So it was a really tough tournament for Canada overall, but McKenna couldn't really find a groove. They were going to lean on him a lot to try and drive the bus here as a returning player, top 6 fixture. So there is pressure on him. He seems to have embraced it, and it'll be intriguing. That will be the big, probably individual storyline on Team Canada is how is this guy going to handle it? And of course, Ivar Stenberg, who is one of his big challengers to go first overall in the draft, he scored the game-winning goal on Saturday. So he looks like he's primed for a big tournament on Team Sweden. So that's going to be a fascinating subplot to this year's World Juniors to see how McKenna handles it and to see if he can kind of reestablish himself at the top of this draft class.
Well, I look at it and I love his attitude, and I think that's how it should be. It's funny because I talked to some scouts and they feel like, he's really rounding out his game is what he's doing in college. And it's a harder, you got a lot of older guys. It's a little bit harder of a league. And so, we'll see where it goes. I think there are some other people that have said, man, going to, and he's older, he's a late birthday, so he's a little bit different. But, you see some guys in your draft year, if it's going to impact your draft status, which could impact your signing bonus, would you potentially say, why don't I just wait till I'm drafted and then go to the NCAA route? I can see the argument both ways and even spend a year, maybe in major junior, just building your confidence, playing more games. I don't know if there's a right path either way. I know NCAA thinks it's always better. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. We'll see where it goes. We do have more guys from NCAA because of that, Mark, and that's not necessarily a bad thing at all, but it is kind of different because usually you might get 1 NCAA player on a World Junior team. The odd time too. This year I think there's 5.
Yeah, 5 Canadians made the jump from the CHL to the NCAA this season and are on this team. But yeah, it's a bit more, Porter Martone, another returning player who's playing a frontline role for Canada, might end up wearing the C. He's certainly going to be a leader on this team. Off to a great start down in Michigan State. McKenna's playing with Michigan Wolverines center Michael Hage. That's his center right now, who's off to a great start at this camp, was great in the summer showcase, a Montreal Canadiens prospect. And he's been down in the NCAA for a couple years now. So There's a lot more, as you mentioned, NCAA flavor to this Team Canada. Ivan Kovic in net. I'm sure we'll see him at some point during the tournament as a returning goalie. So yeah, up and down the roster. Keaton Verhoff, he was a scratch in the first or in Saturday's pre-tournament game. He's going to play tonight. He's another guy who's going to be right at the top of this draft class. Cole Reshny, the Calgary Flames prospect, is right now, I believe he's on the third line, and he's also on the top power play unit, having a good start in North Dakota. So lots of NCAA flavor to this year's team, and it'll be intriguing to see how those guys get back to the kind of the CHL flavor of the rest of their teammates.
You look at the tournament, Mark, and you've covered it very well for many years, and you see lots of different things and expectations every year, and it changes. And I always chuckle at people say, it doesn't matter in other countries, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It matters a lot in every other country. Mark just covers it better than a lot of other people do. That's just a fact. But as every year when you cover it, what have you learned to kind of look for when you're covering this tournament every year?
Well, you're looking for chemistry to come together, quickly in a short tournament. So, for example, we're on the road right now to Mankato, where Canada's playing their final pre-tournament game, and I'm expecting Canada to put up a crooked number tonight as they take on Denmark. They've only scored four goals in the first two pre-tournament games. They're 0 for 7 on the power play, and if they don't put up a crooked number tonight, then you start getting a little concerned. So we'll see how they play tonight. But you're looking for chemistry. You're looking for it, and I think it's interesting. They had Gavin McKenna with Porter Martone and Michael Misa on the top line together on Saturday. They didn't score. They had some good moments, but they've immediately changed their top six and put McKenna with Brady Martin and Michael Hage on the second line, and those three played very well in the first pre-tournament game when Martone did not play, TJ Ginla did not play. So they're going back to that because those guys had chemistry, and they're going to put a Ginla with Martone and Misa tonight. So, it's tough. It's a balance between, trying to generate the chemistry in a short tournament while trying to be patient to let the chemistry come. So that's something I'm always looking at, the push and pull. Dale Hunter is as experienced as they come, so you got to feel he's got a good pulse on things, but I'm expecting Canada to put up a crooked number tonight.
And one last one for you, Mark. I know you might want a reprieve from it, but you also cover the Maple Leafs a lot. What do you make of the Mark Savard move, and what do you make about the Leafs struggles so far this season?
Well, it felt like something had to give. The Leafs have the worst power play in the league, and he's been running it. So it's an understandable move in that respect. It also feels a little bit kind of like a half measure in a way, just because, certainly there's a lot going wrong when you're where the Leafs are in the standings, which is at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. So, it's understandable on one hand. On the other hand, you're wondering how big of a difference is it actually going to make? Leafs have struggled to generate power play opportunities throughout the season as well. So, they're winning right now. They're playing an afternoon game, 3-2 on the Penguins. For whatever reason, that's been a good matchup for them this year. They're 2-0 against the Pens, so going for the season sweep here today. But, yeah, you're not surprised to see something happen with where the Leafs are at the standings. And I was just watching the media availability with general manager Brad Treliving and coach Craig Button Craig Berube. Sorry, I'm in World Junior mode here, and Craig Button's going to be in is going to be on my mind a lot over the next couple of weeks. But you could feel the tension. You could feel the tension watching the video. You could just feel the weight of everything happening around the Leafs right now. They badly need a win going into this holiday break. They're up in the second intermission right now, 3-2. We'll see if they can hang on, but it is not good times in Toronto right now.
No, not at all. Mark, we really appreciate this on the road. We love it. Enjoy the World Juniors. Hopefully you and the crew are able to have a nice Christmas and holiday season, and we'll talk to you again in 2026.
Yes, happy holidays. Just on the road here with Alberta-based photojournalist Ryan Vardy, and we are heading to Mankato, and we wish everyone happy holidays.
Awesome. Drive safe, boys. Have a good one. There you go. That's Mark Masters from TSN. Does a fantastic job covering the World Juniors every year. We got some more donations in. I love it. We'll update you on that when we return. It's the final edition of the Gregor Show before Christmas, our final day of month of giving. And man, we're getting closer to our goal of what we need to reach. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
I'm Gene Principe, bringing season's heatings from Legacy Heating and Cooling. For Yuletide comfort you'll love this Christmas. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. There's no better way to fix your furnace. You just call Legacy. They're professional, never rude, Dolph. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no prints of payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. December is here. Christmas shopping, Christmas wrapping, Christmas baking, grocery shopping. What about our vehicle? Does it need tires? It's not running? No problem. We got you covered. At Northgate GM, we have a tremendous selection of newer used vehicles, winter tires at cost, and of course, service with a smile. Come in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.347, welcome back. Lovely Tuesday afternoon. It is game day. The Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Edmonton Oilers looking to go into the break 8-2-1. The Flames have actually, they're 6-2 in their last 8 games. So you got two teams that are playing pretty good hockey right now. The Oilers offense is rolling. Their power play has been deadly at 42%. They got 14 power play goals in their last 10 games. Now, two things are happening. They're getting a few more power play chances. They get on a run. It's great, but they're murdering teams. Now, the Calgary Flames, not so much. In their last 10 games, they've got 3 power play goals. They don't score very much. They don't get a ton of power play chances either, but they're not scoring at all. Now, their penalty kill has been all right, but not great. And going up, if they take too many penalties tonight, it's probably good night, Irene. Because here's what's unique about the Oilers' power play. Usually, right, we see it dry when their power play is at its best historically. Draisaitl's the trigger man. Doesn't mean he scores all the goals, but he scores a lot of them. In this 10-game stretch here, where the Oilers' power play is 42%, of the 5 guys in the power play, Draisaitl has the fewest goals. He has 1. Bouchard has 2. Nugent Hopkins and Hyman each have 3, and McDavid has 4. Right, Matt Savoy has the other power play goal. Remember that one came with 1 second left against Seattle. So their first unit, they've been moving it around. Now, Draisaitl leads them with 10 assists. So it's not like he's not a factor in it. But what this power play, what makes it so great is they constantly evolve and change. And like the one new play they have is Nugent Hopkins suddenly. He's on the left. Draisaitl or McDavid are down low in the right corner, which one of them usually is. They rotate around there. It's usually Draisaitl because he likes to be on his one-timer. But McDavid goes there sometimes too. And usually Nugent Hopkins is on the left side. But lately, and we've seen it result in 2 goals in the last 2 games, where he will suddenly crash down hard to the far post. McDavid hit him for 1 goal, and Draisaitl did it for the other one. And you're just like, well, how do you stop that now? Because it's a play the defense hasn't seen. So now all of a sudden they start looking. And guess what happens? If that defenseman see, I gotta try to get Nugent Hopkins, what's that going to do? It's going to leave Hyman open in front of the net. All right. The more looks you have, it's impossible. You can't cover them all because you have an extra guy. Just can't cover them all. So they're always evolving and changing. That's why their power play is so deadly. It's 33% on the season. And you remember early in the year, they missed Glenn Gulletson. Like Edmonton, I will say, small percentage, the vocal ones might be the most overreactive people I've ever seen. Like, go back and look at the takes from these people. They missed Glenn Gulletson, the power play. Get Nugent Hopkins off the power play. Get this guy off the power. Like, that's what they're calling for. Seriously. Right? McDavid, he's on the downturn. That's what they're saying. Like, it's wild. I get you can be frustrated the Oilers weren't off to a good start, but my goodness, to suggest some of that stuff is wild to me. Absolutely wild. So, let's see. We are today's the final day of month of giving. Now it's our Christmas challenge day, which has gone very well. And we have a chance now because we just got another $1,000 from Kyle. So we asked business owners, Kyle has his own business, and he just said, hey man, listening in Canmore, by the way, thank you very much. Kyle came in at 1,000. So we also had Barry at Cook County. We have Darren Hughes Petroleum. Daryl came in, United Tool Supply, Tanacor with Brad and Scott. They also offered, I can't believe it, Cons, but they offered, and we'll talk to Struddy about that offer. Will he take him up on it? But offered they would even do some hair transplants for Struddy. That's amazing. We had Rocket Gear come in at 1,000. We have an anonymous listener. We're just going to call him Big D, who came in at $5,000. 5,000 today. Unreal. We have Century Vision Cares Challenge, all of the eye doctors and any other eyewear place for $500 donation. We had Connor challenging dads to 100. A few of them have stepped up for that. Declan's challenging everybody under the age of 30 to $100. Cheryl's challenged all of our lady listeners to $100. And we had almost simultaneously, Norm and Dave came in, and they each donated 100 and want to challenge all the coaches, specifically the sirs. little challenge there from Dave out to Paul. I like that. So those are all the ones we have. So with all the numbers crunching now, we are to get to our goal today. And we're getting closer all the time. We now need, by my math, $2,400. It's pretty good. So you want to do $100, 205, 1,000? You want to go more? We can. We got Big D came in at 5. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau today. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. If you want to get in, that would be fantastic to finish things off. We love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you very much. Try to get that in here in the final 2 hours of the show. I'm feeling confident we can get there. I'm feeling confident we have a pretty good chance to get there. Hey, Greg, someone should tell the Leafs how to run a power play. Well, man, you know what's interesting is, like, you think about it. You watch the power play, like, yeah, it's quick puck movement. It's accurate puck movement, right? But you can have a coach who can come up with some plays, but at the end of the day, your players have to execute them. And to me, the best power plays have guys on there who are good, and not everybody's a great power play player. Like, I've never really understood why Austin Matthews isn't better on the power play with his shot. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, he scores more goals at a better rate 5-on-5, which, yeah, that's good. But how he can't score on a power play, not that he can't, but doesn't score at a higher rate is kind of baffling to me with his shot. Doesn't make much sense. So the Leafs they're in a world of hurt for sure. Hey, Greg's, would be nice if the Oilers could find a way to give Yarventi a few games in the second half. He's playing great and has the size and speed the bottom six could really use from Old Stony Eagle. Well, there's a chance he might get there, right? Like, the Oilers got some guys percolating, and which is good, but it's still a big jump AHL to the NHL. Right? The Oilers aren't going to go in the playoffs with Howard and Hudson and Savoy and Yarventi. But if some people actually think that'd be a good idea. Okay, no, it's not. Playoffs are a different beast, man. Now, I agree with you. Get Yarventi into some games. He's different than those other guys because of his size and speed. He's the biggest and fastest out of him and Howard and Hudson. He is. Right now, Szymanski's also had a really good first year in North America. He's played pro in Europe the last few years. Big body. He's probably someone realistically, like, I look and say, like, Noah Philp, who's been banged up. That's a guy who will push his spot. Curtis Lazar down the road, like a fourth-line center. That's what I would look at for Szymanski. Now, maybe he could get higher than that, but just remember, not everybody who scores in the American League is going to score at the same rate in the NHL. It's just very different. Right? Anton Lander's my best example. Anton Lander, up in the NHL, was like a fourth-line player. Nothing wrong with being a fourth-line player. I'm not saying that derogatory, man. It's hard to stay in the NHL. But his speed and skill wasn't a top six forward, even though he produced like a top six guy in the American League. He wasn't a top six guy in the NHL. Wasn't even really a third line guy in the NHL. So now Szymanski skates better than Lander. He's bigger. And that's the advantage, man. If you got some size and some speed, decent on draws, can kill penalties, you can carve out a really good career for yourself. And so the Oilers, they've got, you think about it, Howard, guys who aren't here right now, Howard, Hudson, Szymanski, and Yarventi. And they're going to hope that, like, if two of those guys become regulars in the NHL, that'd be really good. If more do, that's a big, big win. Big win. So, hey, Gregor, they aren't seriously starting Ingram, are they? This is a must win from Levi. Do you think that, like, Pickard's infinitely better than Ingram? I think they want to see what they got in Connor Ingram. That's how I view it. They just want to see what they got in him. No problem. Patrick just came in at 200 bones. Attaboy, Patrick. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. 833-401-1440. 40. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Fountain Tire, they take care of your vehicle and your vehicle only. Your focus to enjoy driving in winter is worry-free. So they'll make sure that you can get on the road and feel comfortable. Book an appointment, fountaintire.com.
With a sports 1440 update.
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the Calgary Flames down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage. Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro gets going at 6 right here on Sports 1440. One game underway, just getting going in the third. Maple Leafs lead the Penguins 3-2. Stuart Skinner playing in game 200 of his NHL career. Later today, Red Wings taking on the Stars. You got the Rangers and the Caps. Bruins host the Canadians. Sabres in Ottawa. Kings up against the Panthers. The Flyers travel to the Windy City. Avs host the Mammoth Sharks in Vegas. And the Kraken taking on the LA Kings. In the association, the Toronto Raptors are in action down in Miami. Tip-off 5:30. You've also got the Bucks and the Pacers. Pelicans in Cleveland. The Sixers will host the Nets. Knicks take on the Timberwolves. Pistons and Kings. The Clippers hosting the Rockets. And you've got the Spurs hosting the Thunder at 6:30. College football today. The New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky leads Southern Miss 3-0 in the first. And earlier today at the Boca Raton Bowl, it was Louisville over Toledo 27-22. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, ask 5 questions, and be joined by former NHLer Jason Strudwick. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are backed by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Sam's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. Ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit JapaMachinery.com to find out more.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Forevermore.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. It's Terrific Tuesday. Get 40% off any regular price pizza when you use the code word 40Tuesday at the start of each pizza order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
All right, just after 4 o'clock. How are you? Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, lovely day. Man, we're having an awesome day. Delhi just came in with another $1,000 matching donation. We also had Patrick come in at $200, and John came in at $150. So, man, we are getting close. I'll have to do another quick recap, but my math tells me, we're about $1,000, maybe $900 away now from our goal today. We can always go over, of course, but from our goal today, that would be fantastic. So, if you want anyone to help us out, 833-401-1440. Just send in your email and the amount you'd like to donate. Companies, we're looking for $1,000 donations. We've had actually 9 now today, not to mention Big D's anonymous $5,000 donation, which really sped things up. We got $500 from Century Vision Care. Patrick's in at $200. Then we got lots of people at $100 for challenging our lady listeners, challenging dads, grandpas. Declan challenging anyone under the age of 30. To match their $100 donation. So whatever you like, it's great. 833-401-1440. And I think we got a really good chance here in the final 2 hours to get. Hey, it's a goal. We always like to get more than the goal, but that's the goal. So that would be outstanding. So
Gregor, I think Declan also challenged in the same challenge good-looking people. So yeah, if you're
really
if you're a good-looking person, this is your time.
Jeez, now that's That is one of the greatest subjective debate. But you know what, though? All that matters is, do you think you're good looking?
Yeah.
Right? It's all that matters. And you know what? You only need to find one person who thinks you're good looking. Or if they don't find you handsome, at least they'll find you handy. Red, green. It's a very important line, right? Ladies, gents, it's got to find, good sense of humor, good personality. Can take you a long ways, right? You don't necessarily always need to be an Adonis. Any stretch of the imagination, right? Good laughter, maybe.
We're not gonna make you subject a selfie to prove it. Just
no, sure.
If you're good looking,
just say I'm in at $100 because I'm ridiculously good looking. Why not? Go for it. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. So 833-401-1440. We do have lots. We had Struds coming up. Hey, you know what? Speaking of people who were all about thinking they're good looking, Cons, the big man is all over it.
He might have to do 200.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Would he get in that? You know what? Actually, we'll have to see what he says. Yeah. Let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Oh, how about this? Blake and the gang at Action Electrical, they're in at $1,000 as well. Thank you very much, Blake, and everybody at Action Electrical. That is amazing. Amazing. So we're having an awesome Tuesday. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Now, in the room, we're hearing from the head coach, Chris Knobloch, and, so Trent Frederick, he had the one night off. And what do you do as a coach? Like, how are you helping him, if you can, try to get out of the funk that he's in?
I think it's really important to keep it as simple as possible. I think there's so much going on in his head that he's like all players, when they want to play a perfect game, trying to do all the right things, then you're thinking about so much, and the game's not natural. It doesn't happen quickly for you, and you end up being almost paralyzed. And I think Freddie's put a lot of pressure on himself and wanting to play better. I think his intentions are fantastic. He's a great teammate, great person, and he wants to help out. He's just in a funk. So right now you got to be really careful about how much you show him. The things that we want to show are very precise, almost just all aligning with his identity and what we need from him.
Yeah, it's, talk to Frederick today, and he's like, you know what, man, I got to move my feet more. These are his words, not mine. And big guy like that, got to move his feet more. And it's a little bit of a rivalry game tonight. He's playing with Jones. Jones has played with a lot of energy, and sometimes that can be infectious. I actually thought Frederick in the Boston game, it was very noticeable. He was moving his feet. Now, that's not a surprise. You go back home. So you got to find whatever it was that got you rolling there to keep going. Right? That's just how it works. That's what they need. So we'll see kind of where Frederick will come out on the other side here on this. We've some guys that last 50 games, and he's not the only guy struggling. I actually looked up today, because Adam Henrique hasn't scored a goal in 29 games. And that's the longest drought of his career. And I was actually looking at other guys around the league who are in kind of a similar situation right now. And there's actually a few guys actually worse off than Henrique. Now, Henrique hasn't scored in 29, but he does have he has a few goals on the season, right? But you look at it, so here's the list of guys who are in a similar spot to Henrique right now when it comes to struggling offensively, right? Guys who have gone 29 plus games this year without a goal. Luke Glendening, 36, Colazar, 34, Garnet Hathaway, 33, Hendrix Lapierre, 33, Phil Deneau, 30 games, and Brandon Tanev, 29. They don't have a goal all year. Radek Faksa is in a 33-game goalless drought. He scored way earlier in the year. Michael McCarron hasn't scored in 30 games either. He did have a goal earlier in the season. So, and those are guys who are playing 12, 13 minutes a night, similar to Henrique, and they can't buy a goal. Right? They can't buy a goal. So, like Phil Deneau doesn't have a goal this year. Just got traded too. Now he'll go to Montreal, and maybe that'll be the change for him. We'll see if it works. But there is sometimes you think your team is the only one who has it, but there's guys who take it and seeing kind of where it goes. Also, the head coach, Mr. Knobloch, spoke about his top 6 guys, and obviously they're rolling. The team's winning, and with that, despite them scoring lots, you're actually able to lower their minutes because the Oilers have been winning more games and not taking it right down to the wire, other than the Vegas game.
Well, Connor and Leon are definitely the ones leading the way in offensively, and the guys who are around them are contributing also. But the minutes are down a little bit just because we have had some leads that have shrunk. With us chasing games, they don't need to play those high minutes. Another one is, we've had a lot of overtime games the first 15, 20 games a season, and we haven't had very much of that after. So there's, a couple of minutes every game from there. But, ideally, we're not relying on them to play those 23, 24, 25 minutes, but, they can handle it. They can do it once in a while, but to do it every night, that's not a good recipe for us.
No, not all the time. Now, Connor Ingram, what did the coach like from Ingram to want to get back to see him for another performance before Christmas?
We thought he was solid in the game against Vegas, played well, and hopefully that he can build some momentum before we take this break going into Christmas.
I look at Ingram, and I had a really good chat with him today in the dressing room. Obviously, he's super excited to be here, and he did admit, man, there was a lot of nerves last game, and the first period couldn't have gone any better for him. He didn't have a ton of action, but had enough. I think he ended up with 9 shots, but none high danger, and so you can kind of feel the puck and get into it. And now, you know what? They go against a Calgary team that's playing well. And Ingram being from Saskatchewan, he's fully aware of the Battle of Alberta. He was pretty pumped to get into a Battle of Alberta so quickly. And so, he's got a lot of family members in Saskatchewan. Obviously, he's from the same hometown as Chris Knobloch. And, there'll be a lot of people watching that one. He joked about how, hey, the town kind of shuts down now they got the two guys in the same team. So it's easier for everybody to watch. Knobloch's thoughts on a guy who has Oiler fans wondering, could this be a steal of a deal in Spencer Stastny?
We've been very happy with Spencer with what he's done. We've asked him to play left wing or left side, right side with Doc. And, the one thing that really stands out is his skating, and not only defending, but also using his legs to get out of trouble, carry the puck out of the zone, and opening up lanes. And a smart player, he checks really well. And, the players that he's been playing with, a little bit of time with Doc, most of his time with Ty, both situations he's played really well.
He has been. And you know what? Really good skater. And there's not a lot of like non-Swedish blonde guys in the NHL cons. And it's interesting. You just don't see it very often. And Stastny is a little bit of a blondie. So, but man, the guy can really skate. And obviously the coaches trust him. He's on the ice in the final 2 minutes, protecting a 1-goal lead. That's good. And you know what? All that does is just boost the confidence of a player, right? You want to get out on the ice more. Competitive players want to be out there when the game's on the line. That's just the simple truth, right? You want to be out there when the game is on the line. No question about it. So I look at him. He's been pretty good. And lastly, his just Knobloch shared his thoughts on the games before the break. The first game back. Is there any worry about, guys thinking about Christmas going into that final game?
I think every situation's a little bit different because you've got, have you been at home for a long time? Have you been traveling? I don't think there's a cookie cutter answer for it because everything's been, there's so many random things. And, the game before break, I don't really have much opinion, but I do know the game after the break, usually a little sloppy and usually takes a little bit going to get everything in line. And definitely saw that last year. Hopefully we can have better starts than after our breaks. But, I think there's too many variables.
Yeah, I don't know if they're worried about it too much. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We'll take a quick break, and Strutty will join us next. Will he take up the boys at Tennecore on their offer? We'll find out next. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
I'm Gene Principe, bringing season's heatings from Legacy Heating and Cooling. For Yuletide comfort you'll love this Christmas. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. There's no better way to fix your furnace. You just call Legacy. They're professional, never rude, Dolph. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no principal payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Will Hawk beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Will Hawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky.
Ho, ho, ho!
Available at Wilhauk Beef Jerky in Leduc.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
Your New Year's Eve plans just got a major upgrade. On the Rocks is throwing the ultimate party to launch you into the new year with a bang. The legendary Tall Boy is hitting the stage live, providing the soundtrack for an unforgettable night. A 3-course dinner is available to kick things off before the main party starts. This is how you celebrate New Year's Eve. Dinner and a party tickets are available now. Book your spot online at ontherocksyeg.com.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly, some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Merry Christmas from Anu Gas Compression Consulting in Wetaskiwin. The management and staff would like to wish you a peaceful and happy holiday season. They thank you for your patronage this year and look forward to seeing you in 2026. Season's greetings from everyone at Anu Gas.
Santa checked his list twice. Low Tide asked for a Motorola phone from the 90s. Low Tech, still ahead of the curve. The Lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays noon to 2 on Sports 1440.
Game day sauce.
Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Oh, Game Day Suits.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Did you know that Japa offers in-house and on-site heavy equipment service? Rain or shine, Japa's service department is here for you. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.420, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you want to get in the game tonight. $80 million, 43 max millions up for grabs in Lotto Max. The Ilya Brizgalov of lotteries. That's right. Breeze war number 80 with the Edmonton Oilers, which I did not remember until Connor Halley brought it up earlier in the show today. Also, the Jason Gregor Show special, which has been pretty hot lately. Not going to lie. Hit another one last night, so you might want to check it out. You got 3 options to look at. See it at playalberta.ca with some odd boosts. Let's get to Studs On, brought to you by Action Electrical, where they wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you spend time with your family and loved ones from actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea. And it is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you had me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. I mean, you need to have clean nuts. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, what's happening, buddy?
Not much, just gearing up for Christmas.
Oh yeah, you about now? I'm not sure. Did you hear the? So we're doing our match, our Christmas matching today, and I challenged all business owners if they wanted to match $1,000. And we've had lots that have stepped up and matched it today, which is great. Brad and Scotty at Tenacor had matched it as well, but they also they offered. Because they just sent me a note saying, hey, we've noticed Struddy sitting out. And these guys, I don't know if you've seen him around, but Scotty's got he's a Fabio of hair. And he even offered to do a hair transplant if you're interested. Oh, I think we lost him, Cons. Oh, he was that rattled. Well, that means I can tell the story again. I love it. He's so rattled. So we'll get him back for sure. I'll be good. What do you think his answer is going to be, Cons?
He'll say he doesn't need it.
No. Why not? But you know what though? If he saw Scotty's hair, he might. And Brad, both the brothers, they got there's no shortage of follicles for those two. A lot of them. Yeah. So Struddy, they offered if you were interested that not only did they do the Christmas challenge, but they said they would offer some hair transplants if you're interested.
From their heads?
Yeah. But have you seen them? They're like the Fabios of Edmonton. They got a lot of hair.
Do they? Well, I'm always interested, looking for interesting trades. You know?
You love the trade, Struddy. What are you going to offer in return?
Well, what do they need?
I'll tell you what they need, Struddy. They could use some height.
Oh, boy. Personality. I've got height and personality. I could offer a little bit of both.
Now, Struddy, I know that you are a guy who understood, healthy scratch, but a lot of times in your role, you weren't healthy scratch because you were struggling. It was just, a 6'7" defenseman. And even if you played well, sometimes you got to take it out. Now, I'm sure you've sat or you've seen teammates kind of go through it like Trent Frederick, because he's in one right now for all the wrong reasons, right? And you can tell confidence is waning. What does he have to do in your eyes to get out of the funk?
Yes, I mean, I've been clear. I really like this player. And I liked him when he was in Boston, and who he is today is not who he was in Boston. Even I think in the playoffs he was closer to what he could be, even though his ankle was a disaster. So it's tough. Like the road back is tough, but you've got to start somewhere, right? You've got to identify things that you do really well. What are my superpowers? What got me into this league? What got me to sign this contract? And I do think there's an element of him that it's a lot of cash. What is he at? 24 million or 20, whatever it is. And maybe he was, trying to do too much and thinking, man, I'm now a $4 million player. I've got to do more than when I was, half that or whatever his previous contract was. So, he's got to get back to, I think, kind of his basic game. What's his core game? I think it's definitely skating. He's a pretty good skater for a big man. Being physical, being hard to play against, winning draws, all those things. I know that it sounds like, oh, you should be doing that anyways. Yeah, I understand, but we all lose our confidence, right? Whether it's in hockey or maybe your job or in a relationship or whatever. So he's got to start that and just count the wins that he gets doing those things. And so it can be set a goal. I want to try to get 3 hits tonight, a scrum, win over 50% of my face-offs and try to get a shot, right? And just start there. And then maybe that's not enough for some Oilers fans, but that's the starting point, because that's ground zero. Then you build off that. So I'd love for him to have that type of a game tonight. And I'm not expecting massive, but just so you can go into the Christmas break thinking, okay, The coach sat me. I wasn't happy, but I had a chance to reset, and I put something that I could be somewhat proud of on the board against Calgary, a game that'll be highly energetic, and then I'll do hopefully the same thing right after, and then you start going from there. Because I mean, he's capable of a lot more, but he looks to me like a player that is really lost is maybe a bit too much, but kind of lost his way, I think is a fair way of putting it.
Yeah, no, I think it's totally fair. He has. And it's just, it's not like it's going to be like one game he plays well, because I actually thought he played well in Boston, right? And, but then, no, it didn't carry it on. So, in Minnesota, obviously the coach didn't like his game enough that they sat. And I think, honestly, Strides, I think because the Boston game, the coach is like, okay, he's coming back. And then he didn't follow it up with another game. And I think that's probably what Knobloch was like, all right, okay, we got to give you, I got to send a stronger message here. Because at some point, like, ice time is really, like, you can limit a guy to 7 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes, but a seat in the press box, I would think, gets your attention even more than reduced ice time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, I think fans have to understand it's not like Knobloch or his assistants haven't been talking to him the whole time. A good coach is being, hey man, this is what we're looking for. Look, this was a good game, or this was enough. And you're having conversations, but then there is a point where you're like, okay, he just needs a sit down, and he knows, like, he is in Trent, knows that he's not at the level he needs to be. The problem is you're trying to push and do, you're supposed to go left, you go right, you arrive 2 seconds later, you get there too early, like, it just, everything goes wrong. So I think the reset is healthy. And I think for Knobloch, he needs to figure this player out. This player needs to be a fixture, at least on the third line for the Edmonton Oilers, and his kind of unique skill set that he has. So they need him, and I think he'll go could help quite a ways to figuring out a third line that probably needs a bit of a boost in pretty significant way.
Jason Strudwick joins us. Stridey, Connor Ingram's going to go with his second consecutive start tonight, which doesn't surprise me. I think after the way he played against Vegas, he was fine. Thought he was pretty good in the third period when Vegas was coming on and Edmonton's legs looked a little tired. You got to kind of find out what you got here in Connor Ingram, right?
What's funny, I heard you, I was driving yesterday and I heard you say that you think he's going to play today. And I was like, because I had said the opposite. And this is my reasoning. I thought that his head was spinning. He'd had a lot of things happen in a short amount of time, as far as seeing the injury, getting called up, playing in the game, traveling to meet the team, all that kind of stuff. And then I started thinking about, like, well, you know what, maybe playing him isn't a bad idea. So I kind of, came around the other way. So this is an opportunity for him to make another impression on, obviously, the management, but his teammates and the coaching staff, saying, hey, like, this, we know what my numbers have been in the minors, but here I am. It's a new beginning, and playing the NHL is easier. Yeah, I mean, everyone's better, but it is easier because everyone kind of does what they're supposed to. And so I think that for him, having another good game, he doesn't have to win the game for the Oilers. He just has to give him a chance, because he's trying to build up the belief for the team and his coach, but he's trying to build it up for himself. You want to have a goal that feels good about himself. So pick, you know what, where he's at. Let's see what this guy can do with Jari out for a little while here.
Yeah. What do you think he can do?
I'd like to think that he could become a 1B, right? And then you have kind of 1A, 1B. We've seen good stretches from him. And if you've done it before, you can do it again. I believe that in anything in life, although maybe not dunk a basketball in my case. I mean, I was jumping so high above the rim. Incredible. I was in the NBA. I am older now. But for this guy, he's not that far removed from being that goalie. So can he get there and be, a really good option? Because I think that competition between him and Pickard, Greg's, would be amazing prior to any kind of return of Jari.
Yeah, well, and Jari, when they say weeks, who knows? Now, there's the rumor out there, Marc-Andre Fleury, he's back skating, he wants to get back into it, which doesn't surprise me. I thought he probably still had something left, and he goes away, and he's like, God, I kind of miss it. But where would you come out on the Oilers' interest in Jari?
Fleury. I think the thing with Fleury is that it wasn't like he's been killing it in recent years. This isn't Scott Niedermayer stopping halfway, deciding he doesn't want to play or not sure if he wants to play, and it comes back for Anaheim. Okay, I guess let's say that things don't go well with Ingram. Maybe it's an option, right? And you can bring him in, but again, he wasn't an animal the last couple of years. He wasn't at the level. So is he that much better than Jari and or Ingram and or Pickard? The experience for sure. So it's another option, but I guess I'd take a look, but I don't know. Do you think it's that much of an upgrade?
Well, it's a great, honestly, not really. No, to me, it's just as much of a question mark. I'm not sure it's more. So what I would do is, as an organization, I say, okay, let's see what we have here with Ingram. There's a reason you brought him in the summer. Like for 2 years in Arizona, he was really good, right? Then last year in Utah, he realized, hey man, my OCD is getting to me. So he stepped away for a bit, and now he's like, hey man, I'm not having to control me. I know how to control it, and it's fine. So he had shown he was a pretty solid goalie on a team that gave up a ton, right? Like Kevin Woodley was talking about Ingram, and some of the environment he was in Arizona wasn't great, and he had pretty solid numbers overall. So you come to Edmonton, which, while their environment hasn't been great all year, it's been getting better again, and they've been a top 10 team defensively the last 2 years for an environment. So you're looking to say, hey, this one might actually fit his style of play. He's not going to be, well, not many guys are, but he's not Bobrovsky, right? Like he's not, or Vasilevsky, where, you're doing the splits for fun, and you're all, not that he can't do the splits, but you know what I mean? Like those two guys make saves that most goalies can't make. Whereas he's more of just controlled, and if he knows where the puck is at and where it's coming from, he'll give you, he can make more saves than not. So I would probably just say, let's see what Ingram does here. They kind of got a gift because Jari's out in a weird way, that you can see for the next 3 weeks what you have in Ingram.
Well, they need to find out, because, we got to hope that Jari's back and he can stay healthy the rest of the year. Then, if no one else can fill that job, well, then you got to go out and address that. And that's going to not going to be cheap, and then who is the goalie you're going to get? So maybe it is free to get the Flower, or we want to go become someone else. And there's only so many assets, cap space you can move out to, or create in cap space to bring a new guy in. So the best case scenario is that Ingram performs well, Pickard does well, and Jari comes back and healthy. Then you have your three-headed monster that can, hopefully sort it out, after a good run the regular season and get into the playoffs. And that allows you to address other areas of the team, like I mentioned before, like a third line. The third line is, to me, it really has to have a hard look at itself in the mirror here.
Yeah, well, I think ultimately, Struddy, there's a reason why you're not going to put Nugent Hopkins there right now, because the first line's too hot. Yeah. So I understand it. But I think ultimately he goes there. Kasperi Kapanen comes back in. I think Kapanen can help you on the third line, can really skate. And I think he's figured out his consistency. I could be wrong on that, but that's my sense on him. You hope that Frederick shows a pulse at some point. And, they got a bunch of other guys that, hey, maybe they can move around. And if not, you go out and acquire one of those guys. But like, they've only had one game, and that was their last game, where they had, their 5 of their like legit top 6 guys in the lineup: Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, Roslovic. So I do think that, the third line will get better, because top 6 guys who are there are now going to get pushed down to where they should be.
Yeah, and that filters it down, and then it filters down your fourth line. You can start creating identity for the line, and then you can see where you're at. And there's lots of time. Well, what are we, March 4th or 6th, the trade deadline, whatever. There's lots of time to sort that out and to get healthy. Then you maybe, okay, maybe we need a D or whatever. Then then that's our group. And let's see how it goes heading into the playoffs, because Pacific Division, Anaheim, good, a young team going. I'm not sure that they're, maybe mature enough. Vegas, I'm sorry, without Pietrangelo, it's not the same team. I know Shea wasn't playing, but they'd already had Hanifin, Pietrangelo, and Theodore, and those guys could really move the puck. And Haig, I don't think people understand, he was an important part of their team as well. That back end doesn't create a lot of offense. It's getting better, but there's not as much there. Eichel's out, and he'll get back. Marner, only 7 goals now, or 8 goals maybe, and yeah, he makes plays, but I think that the Oilers shouldn't fear the Pacific Division. And then you get to hopefully get out of that, and then you go take on someone from the Central, and those teams have hopefully beat each other up in 2 7-game series, and you walk in there like, okay, let's see what we can do. So I'm not saying the path to the final is clear, but the first 2 rounds should be ones that the Oilers, if they can play the way they can, you got to, you're into the next round with hopefully a team that's kind of taking its licks.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't get talked about. Vegas defensemen have produced the fewest points in the NHL this year.
Right? I'm telling you, man, if I would not make the trade Marner for Pietrangelo, because a D-man is so important. And this isn't anti-Toronto or anti-Marner. I just know that a guy that plays 20, 25 minutes a night, that can move the puck, that's won the championship and all that stuff, I know he was getting older. I know his numbers are going down. But still, man, he calms it down so much back there. And Hannafin, he had a bit of a slow start, has been injured. And Shea had a slow start. I think he's, injured, or is he sick or whatever now. But it's not the same back end. And I think their back end, remember when they were beating the Oilers, they were big, physical, could move the puck, long limbs, and they still have the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as skilled, Griggs. It's not the same team. So, Vegas, yeah, they're good. And I'm not saying it's easy to beat them, but it's easier than when they were in their prime.
Yeah, Strutty, 100% agree with you. Strutty, it is Festivus today. Do you have any airing of grievances for the last year? Any area of your life that, needs grieving?
No, I'm pretty satisfied. I guess, these guys chirping me about getting me a hair transplant. Come on. But other than that, I'd say I'm pretty satisfied with life. Is there anything you can think of? I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty...
Nothing irritating you? Rob Brown, Rashad, you want to get off your chest?
Well, that's pretty much daily, those guys. There's really nothing else. I will say, I mentioned it the other day, but I'm really frustrated. I don't like Neil Diamond's Christmas music, right? I love Neil Diamond, but I can't listen to his Christmas music. I've tried so hard. It's more than one of those things you try to make me drink all the time, the red ones.
The Chimay Red?
No, I like those. But the one, Spice the Rim. We had it and you made me drink it. Caesar.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried it as hard as I did, or even more, to like it more than a Caesar. I don't like Neil Diamond's Christmas music, so that's a grievance.
Okay.
I wish you had.
Wow.
Yeah. Said that. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'll be honest. That was not going to be on my list, so I like that. Came out of nowhere. Didn't think of that one. Is there do you have a go-to Christmas list that like outside of Mariah Carey? I know you love Mariah Carey songs. So is there other Christmas songs that are playing at Chateau Strutty?
I've got a great playlist, 104 songs, and some new, but I like the old stuff, right?
Yes.
Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Gina Martin. But I like any version of I'll Be Home for Christmas. I don't know what it is about it this year. It really tears me up. When you listen to the words, it basically, the person's unable to make it home. So I'll only be there in my dreams, or if only in my dreams.
Yeah.
It's such a great song, man. So anyone who can't get home, it's a tearjerker if you're feeling it, but I'm really into it. I love that version, or that song.
Yeah. You're a big fan of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree from Brenda Lee?
I get down with Brenda Lee. Yeah, She's on my playlist. Michael Bublé, him and Shania, killing it up, doing a duet.
You like Bublé because he's a big, Canuck apologist, so I can understand.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Well, Babes for Boobs, right?
Yeah,
Babes for Boobs. It's a big fan group for Michael Bublé. Yeah, I'm pretty easy. I like it all. I like some new stuff too, but I'm more traditionalist when it comes to the Christmas.
What about Burl Ives?
Oh, Burl Ives, I've got it on there. I have a Holly Jolly Christmas. He's incredible. I love Burl. Yeah, there's a lot of classics there.
I introduced my son to Bing Crosby's Christmas songs in the car because he actually asked, he's like, Dad, can we listen to Christmas Station? I'm like, oh, yeah. And the first song was Bing Crosby. And I was just like, son, you got to listen to this guy's voice. And he was just like, oh,
so good.
That guy can really sing 100%.
No.
So.
And the whole Frank Sinatra Christmas collection is just elite, absolutely elite. Much like all my goals, elite. This is the same. Him and Frank, same thing.
Do you have a go-to Christmas movie, Strutty? Do you watch Love Actually?
Love Actually, I love Love Actually. Yeah, I just so good. Yeah, and then you got to watch Christmas, right? Vacation. It's a classic, absolute classic with the Griswolds and all those guys. But those are probably my top two.
Yeah, because what's funny about Love Actually, you have a little bit of Billy Mack in you, right? I think, I think a lot, when I think of personalities and characters, you have some Billy Mack traits.
Billy Mack. And then who's that make you, Cousin Eddie?
No, I'm probably more of I'm probably more like Daniel in Love Actually, right? That's probably
God. All right. That's enough.
Strutty, thanks for joining us all year, man. We always appreciate it. Have a great Christmas, you and Shona and the kids. Hope Santa Claus is good. Don't fall under the Christmas tree, okay? Just try to get there, and you know what? Hopefully there's one mistletoe in your house.
Keeping it tight, and thanks for having me on. Everyone, have a great Christmas. It's always fun. We'll talk to you guys in the next time.
Yeah, you betcha. That's Jason Strudwick, co-host of the Got Your Back podcast, and of course his own podcast. Check it out on Got Your Back or his X account. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, and we've had we are getting close, man. $800. That's all we need. to get to our goal for month of giving. Fantastic. 833-401-1440. We're helping out the Christmas Bureau. We've had a huge help out today. So let's finish strong across the goal line. 833-401-1440. We've had a lot of Christmas challenges for $100, $205. We had a special $5,000 donation from Anonymous, but we call him Big D. Thanks to Big D, and thanks to Deli and Kyle, who made some personal $1,000 donations. And we had Cook County, Hughes Petroleum, United Tool Supply, Tenacor, Rocket Gear, Action Electrical, all coming. Also, I forgot Daryl made a $1,000 donation as well. So thank you very much, Match Your Mind. So we love that off the top. So we're looking for 800 bones to get there. Well, we can always go over, but a minimum 800. We got an hour to go. 833-401-1440. Helping out Christmas Bureau and more on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
As 2025 comes to a close, GS Construction would like to take the time and thank our crews, our partners, and our communities for another successful year of teamwork and growth. Together, we've helped keep Edmonton and the surrounding area moving by building and maintaining the underground infrastructure that keeps everything running smoothly. It's been another year of dedication, pride, and hard work the team has put in to make it all possible. To learn more about our people and our projects, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Seater chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
Sports 1440 is your front row seat to the wild world of sports. Local legends, national headlines, and everything in between. Your game, your station. This is Sports 1440.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
You know Dash, Tatsu, and Prancer, and Vic.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Hockeyology, keeping your game sharp all season long at 01, an advanced skating mill. Classes to enhance shooting, stick handling, and more. Sign up today at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
447. Oh, Josh Fenwick is in matching Declan's challenge of under 30. In at $100. Also, Jason is in as well from Mobile Line Services in at $100. Awesome. So we're getting closer today to helping out. Their month of giving, just filling it out for Christmas Bureau and a few others. So 833-401-1440. Send in your name and your email. We can send you where to make the donation. It's super easy. And we're getting closer by the minute. It's the final day before our Christmas break here on Sports 1440. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage, of course, all with Fox Sports and bowl games and other things going on. And then we'll be back on, we got the pre and post game show tonight. Then we'll have the pre and post game show on Saturday. Cons, are you guys on Saturday morning?
No,
okay.
Taking the Saturday off.
Perfect.
Manib will be back on Sunday, though.
Okay. Manib will be on Sunday. And then, of course, we'll be back on Monday.
Now,
time.
can I ask you, how do we know Josh didn't put that in for a good-looking person?
I don't know.
Declan, did he clarify?
Maybe, did he clarify? No.
He said under 30.
Declan
Okay.
said, no, he's under 30. No. We know what? We haven't had one person sign in to text in saying, hey, my donation is I'm under the good-looking person category. Like, not one of you. Come on. Somebody out there has got to be like, hey, wait a sec. I'm answering the good-looking request challenge. No one's done it yet.
There's got to be one
It's got to
good-looking
be
listener.
one
We're not all
good-looking listener. Come on. I've seen a few that are for sure. Ran into them. So there you go. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick. Boxing Week is coming up. The Boxing Week sales are on right now. Massive sales. If you're looking for appliances, you're looking for furniture, mattresses, 40% off. Remember, you get the good door crasher prices. Boxing Day, you get in for the first 10 people in every location. Get GCs and more. Check it out at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. What is happening tonight in the Battle of Alberta, score-wise, and can we also get a bold prediction?
Well, the Oilers offense, I said, they're like the Polar Express. Everybody's getting on. The top guys are rolling. I expect that to continue tonight. And I will say McDavid and Draisaitl, do you know who has the most points since 2015-16 against the Calgary Flames of any team in the league? Well, Leon Draisaitl has 63. He's first. Connor McDavid has 60. Now, McDavid has 29 goals against Calgary. He's played 3 fewer games than Draisaitl in that time. And you know who's third in the NHL? Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers, big guys, have feasted on Calgary. I think they do it again. Edmonton wins 5-2 tonight. And bold prediction, I will say Jack Roslovic scores. He picks up where he left off. He had his first game to kind of get back into the swing of things. He'll get on the score sheet tonight. I'm not sure that's overly bold, but he hasn't scored in 6 weeks. Or what is it, 4 weeks? Hasn't played, though, but still. It's first goal in a while.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to hope for an eventful game and say it's 4-2 Oilers win, but we get 2 fights as well.
Oh.
Just trying to will that out there. I know it's Christmas and we're all in good spirits and all that sort of thing, but 2 fights would really make my holiday season. So I'm going to try to just speak it into existence. Question number 2 for you, since we are only 2 days away from Christmas. If you could get the Oilers just one thing, what would it be?
I would get them a left shot score. They need a left winger who can score.
I would gift them health. I want everyone to stay health and desire to get back into the first spot. Because I'm like you. I agree. I think that winning the division is a big deal, especially, for this team. Don't want them backing into the playoffs. I want motivation down the stretch and hit the ground running in the playoffs. And that would be it for me. So desire and health. Question number 3 for you. Our last show before the World Juniors get going on Boxing Day. What do you think the podium looks like this go around?
Well, I'm sticking with the red and white. I'm going to say Canada, Sweden, U.S.
All right. I'll take Canada, Sweden, and Czechia.
Oh.
State's been rubbing me the wrong way as of late, so they don't get a medal this year. It goes to the Czechs instead. Question number 4 for you. We're a long way out, I know, but what is a first-round NFL playoff matchup that you would like to see, as we're starting to see these teams clinch?
Go ahead.
First round, I would love to see the New England Patriots play the Buffalo Bills. Bills obviously lost their first matchup. It looked like it was going that way the second time around, and then the Bills came back. I want to see what the Patriots have in the playoffs, and I think that the best test for them would be the Buffalo Bills, a divisional rival. So that's the route I will go.
Ooh, but the Bills then, the Texans have to pass them, right? For that to happen, because the Pats are number 2 and the Bills are currently number 6, right? So 2-7. So the Texans are rolling, though. They could easily do it.
It could happen.
Right?
They get the Chargers this week. One of those teams will fall. So,
but you're number 5. What do you think of your chances of going into Pittsburgh?
I don't mind it. I mean, obviously, they'll get DK Metcalf back. I would personally make that a 3-game suspension. But no, I think that would be I think that would be a good matchup for the Chargers. Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, you never really know. But yeah, I would be happy with it. The Jags just crushed the Chargers. I think Patriots Chargers would be fun as well. But I think Steelers would be a good one if they hold on.
Well, you got some teams rolling. The Texans have won 7 in a row. The Bills have won 4 in a row. The Chargers have won 4 in a row. The Steelers have won 3 in a row. The Jags have won 6 in a row. The Patriots, they've won 1 in a row, but I was after they won like 11 in a row. So, and even the Broncos just finally had a loss. But you got some pretty good teams going there. And then in the NFC, Seattle has won 5 in a row. The 49ers have won 5 in a row. There's lots of teams that are rolling right now. So it should be, I'm looking forward to it. The Bears, it looks like it's probably going to be the Bears against either the Packers or the Lions, which could be I'd love to see a Packers-Bears playoff matchup. That would be fun. I can't remember the last time that's happened.
Yeah, that would be a really good one. Final question for you today. Obviously, we'll be taking a few days off for the Christmas break. So what are the plans? Any fun traditions you guys will be getting up to?
Yeah, we have a few traditions. We play a few games with the family that gets a little bit more intense every year, which is fun, right? Not intense is probably the wrong word, but at times it can be not over the top. We always we have a book that goes around. Everybody reads out of it, different pages. So that's kind of a fun tradition that I like. You know what? Because we started when the kids were little, and now they're all older. We still do it, so kind of like that. And then it's just some of the food. My mom obviously has her homemade fudge that she makes all the year, and she has Christmas bread and have cinnamon buns on Christmas morning, and I make big eggs and bacon special that I don't really make all year long. So yeah, that's kind of it, man. We have a lot of just relaxing. Luckily, don't have to drive too far. Drive to my brother's house in Beaumont. That's as far as I got to drive. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Nice.
How about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, my sister and her family are coming back from Australia for a few weeks, so they actually leave in a couple hours and then get in tomorrow afternoon. So a long travel day for them, but fired up for that. And then just a lot of family time. We'll go hang out with Ashley's family on Christmas morning, and then see my family in the afternoon and evening. And despite the NFL games and the quarterbacks looking pretty terrible, I'm excited to sit down and watch football as well.
So they're leaving right now, did you say?
Yeah, they're just waiting in the airport in Sydney right now.
Which is basically, it's Christmas Eve already.
It's
Sydney. It's
the
Christmas
24th.
Eve.
It's 10 a.m.
Yeah, so she comes back and she lands like what time?
think 1 o'clock, 1:30
tonight.
Tomorrow afternoon. So we're gonna do Fantasy Frenzy. Then I'm gonna head to the airport.
Oh, tomorrow afternoon. Okay, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Right.
good for us.
Now, obviously, where do they? Because it's not a direct flight.
No.
So where are they stopping on the way? I've never flown to Australia.
2 hours in Vancouver. It's usually Vancouver or Los Angeles as the
They go nonstop from Van to Australia.
big 777.
Holy cow! Big machine. That is man. That's a long flight though. Holy God! What is it, like 16 hours or something crazy?
Oh, about that, yeah. 14, 15.
Hmm.
They used to have the game plan down, like stay up as long as you could, have some drinks, fall asleep for as long as you can. Now they have 3 kids. So wish them luck. Keep them in
Anybody
your
with
thoughts.
kids knows that's out the window. They just ruin everything. No, they add a lot to us. We all know that.
When was did you like the first time you took your son on a plane? Has he been on a plane yet?
Oh yeah, the first time we waited, and first time he was 5, and you know what? There was me and my wife and his 2 grandmas. So there was lots of moving around and reading books. He was in the bed reading books, and we didn't. I think we had one small video where he could watch a video for a bit, and our flight was 5 hours because we went to Maui.
Okay, yeah.
I think that might have been 6, but it was actually pretty good. He was first time on the flight, so you know what? He was looking out the window the whole time. He was pretty mesmerized by that. So overall, it was he's a pretty good flyer. Knock on wood. That's never really been an issue. So that's been good. But I give credit to those people who fly with youngsters. I'm like, oh my God. He was past the stage of a toddler, and then they're crying, and he knows how to get him to chew gum when you're taking off, so he's not going to pop his ears. Well, not chew gum, but we gave him food to eat as we were taking off, because then they say if you're chewing, there's less chance of your ears popping. So luckily we got through that. So never had any. I'd been on the flight with a few I know some people get really mad when the kids crying. I'm like, do you think the parent wants them to stop? Do you think they're like, oh, this is awesome, I love it, my kid's screaming now? But sometimes it just doesn't stop. So it's a tough slog. It's where you look at the mom and dad and you're like, hey, I'll buy you a beer.
Exactly.
Awesome. Let's get to Sports 1440 update. We'll come back. We got 1 hour left, man. We are inching it. We've had an unbelievable month. We're out $700 shy of $145K. That's our goal. So you want to help us out? 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, whatever you want to do to help us out. Text in with your amount and an email. We'll get you hooked up to get us over the finish line here today on a very premature positive Friday. But it is the month of giving. It's been a great day and a great month. So we can get to $145,000 raised for local charities. So let's get to that goal here in the final hour. I think we can do $700 in an hour. That's no big deal at all. So 833-401-1440. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Wish and Win event is still on. Stop in and you could win $25,000 off purchase of your vehicle. Mike and everyone down there wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and all the best in 2026.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game day Battle of Alberta edition as the Flames in Edmonton. Puck drop just at their 7 pregame coverage at 6 with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. Earlier today, it was the Leafs doubling up the Penguins 6-3. Later on, you got the Rangers and the Capitals. Canadians taking on the Bruins, Sens hosting the Sabres. Panthers meet the Hurricanes. Avs host the Mountain Sharks in Sin City, and the Kings taking on the Kraken in the association. Toronto Raptors head down to Miami to take on the Heat. 5:30 tip-off. You've also got the Bucks in Indiana. Cavs host the Pelicans. Nuggets taking on the Mavericks. Suns and Lakers. Magic in Portland. Clippers hosting the Rockets. College football bowl season rolls on. Earlier today, Louisville got past Toledo 27-22 in the Boca Raton Bowl. Right now, out in New Orleans, Southern Miss leads Western Kentucky 7-6. And tonight, you've got UNLV taking on Ohio. And from the golf world, Brooks Koepka's time with LIV is over. The 35-year-old originally joined the tour back in 2022 and won 5 events over 4 seasons. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll wrap up the months of giving and be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Tired of the same old holiday tunes? Spice things up with the sound of a Wilhauk beef jerky bag being torn open. It's the carol that everyone wants to hear, promising a chorus of tender, perfectly spiced beef jerky. This holiday season, make sure you're Wilhawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Available at Wilhauk Beef Jerky in Leduc.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
After 20 years, Canada's most prestigious international hockey tournament returns. The Cambros Viking Cup, December 28th to January 4th at Encana Arena. Tickets at vikingcup.ca. Brought to you by Sports 1440.
How are you? Welcome.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have
447. Josh Fenwick is in matching Declan.
ActionElectrical.net.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
Reason number 37 why Nissan is built for our winter. Because winter getaways should be cozy, not cold. Kick's standard heated front seats and side mirrors help keep you warm and your view clear. That's winter ready. Now, lease a 2026 Kicks S front-wheel drive for $349 monthly at 3.9%. Or get $2,000 cash purchase bonus on remaining 2025 models. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for more details. Lease term for 48 months with $1,249 down. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Just after 5 o'clock as you make your way home on a lovely Tuesday afternoon. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's a Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca. We're going to get in the game tonight. Lotto Max, $80 million and 43 Max Millions. The Brizgalov-Strudwick combo that you never knew you needed, but you're getting it tonight at Lotto Max at PlayAlberta.ca. 80 mil, 43 Max Millions. Good luck, boys and girls. Good luck. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. So we are closing in. We are our final hour. We need $700. That's what we'd like. So 7 people at $100, 3 at 200, 1 at it doesn't matter. Let's get to 700. And that'll get us to $145,000 in the month of giving this year, which will be outstanding. So thank you very much. I know we can do it. Look how much we've raised already. So we need $700 more. Today was our Christmas challenge. It went better than expected, which is awesome. And we had lots at 1,000, 500, 200, 100. So you want to text and you want to help us get us over the finish line. Text in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And just text in with your name, your amount, and your email. And we'll hook you up and how you can make the donation. So thank you very much. Now, let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. They are doing just all the details that kind of go underappreciated, like that number 6 defenseman, that third line wing. You don't really notice, but they're doing a good job. So they are at GS Construction, installing new sewer and water systems. GS Construction. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
How's the old fundraiser going? Jay, what's going on this afternoon?
It's pretty good, man. We're $700 shy of getting to $145K in the month. So that's
how'd my challenge do? Did they roll donations roll in on that challenge?
Like a lot of them text in. If Spec would have said, "Have I read anything about specs that made me question my thought process?" Then yes, it would have been a lot more successful. But no, it's all good, man. We appreciate it. And your donation, I saw that you already made your donation to the Christmas Bureau. So thank you very much for that. Looking at the orders now, Connor Ringer, I'm not surprised they're going back with Connor Ringer. Are you a little surprised that Trent Frederick's back in?
Yeah, for sure. I think that a reset, 2 days isn't a reset. 1 game's not a reset. You know, the word reset was used by Chris Knobloch, and I don't feel like 1 game is a reset. I felt like 2 games and 3 days off for Christmas, that's a reset. So, you know, this isn't me saying, oh, I don't want him to play, Frederick to play, and I don't think, you know, they should beat up on him. No. But if you're trying to call it a reset, 1 game's not a reset. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Well, Frederick, you know what, he talked pretty honestly about what's say, I got to move my feet. I got to be more engaged. And I, like, looking back, I thought of the Boston game, he was Spec. And then I think his performance in Minnesota, that's where the coach, I think, got frustrated. He's like, okay, looked like he was coming back, and then he just falls right back into doing nothing against Minnesota. And that seemed to get him the pine in that game against Vegas.
Yeah. So now the pressure's on. Like, what are you going to do if he doesn't do anything tonight? 1 game. Now what? So I agree. Listen, he's a big boy. Like, this isn't a kid coming up like Ike Howard trying to find his way. He's a big boy. Frederick's played a lot of games in the league. He's 27 years old. He's on an 8-year deal. So it's fair for observers like you and I and all the fans out there and the listeners to expect him to be able to find his way here. Like, we don't need to hold, no one needs to hold this guy's hand. He's been around a long time. You know, he needs to figure out a way to have an impact. And I think it seems pretty evident the way a guy with his skill set can have an impact. And it has to start with a physical game. And from there, let's see what happens, right? Maybe you bang a goal in, maybe you get an assist, whatever, but it starts with the physical game. And there's no reason that he can't figure that out. Like, it's not rocket science here. Get out there and bang some bodies, be a bottom 6 big winger that you are, and see what happens from there. But it's got to start with a little body contact. And he knows it, you know it, I know it. Every listener in their car right now knows it. Let's go.
Yeah. Do you think he's capable of it? He's shown it. You don't play in the NHL for that many years without any skill, right? Like, it's funny, Spec. I've seen other guys, some guys coming off in injuries, but I've seen other guys. Look at Adam Henrique. He doesn't have a goal in 29 games, longest drought of his career. And Max Domi actually just ended his drought. He scored a pretty sick goal today against Pittsburgh. There's lots of guys around the league actually that had 30-plus game goal droughts I was looking up right now, either active or haven't scored a goal all season long. And some guys like Phil Deneau doesn't have a goal all year. Like it's kind of wild sometimes. Some veterans get in this funk and they just can't score.
It is. And I don't think, like, no one thought of Trent Frederick as a scorer. Like, you're looking for 12 to 15 goals from this guy in a season, in an 82 game season. So if he pops a goal in every, 9 games, or every 8 games, that's enough. So, it's, to me, that's sort of the puzzling thing, Jay. The things that get his motor running, the things that are his keys to success aren't, going out and producing points. You can control how often you hit people. You can control standing over a goalie. You can control putting your hand in the face of some other player and giving him a face wash. You can control when someone drills Connor McDavid, getting over to him next shift and putting him on the rear end. You can control all that stuff. So that's what the issue here is with Frederick. If we were just waiting for him to score and he was having no puck luck, sometimes you can't control that. But all the things we expect from Frederick, you can control, and it's high time you started controlling them.
That's totally valid. What are you looking at from Ingram as he moves forward here into game 2?
Well, let's see how steady he can be. I mean, I guess that's it for me, is some steadiness here. One good game in a row. Okay. Now what? Right? We saw lots of goalies have one good game in a row. So I'm looking for a guy whose game kind of grows, a guy who fulfills that promise that he said the other night. You were standing there when he said, one thing about the NHL compared to the AHL is what you think's going to happen actually happens 90% of the time. And that's good for my game. My game suits the NHL better because it's more predictable. So let's see it. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of the same. And you know what? What I really want to see is, I want to see that when Jari comes back, I want to see us having a conversation. Which goalie do you keep? Calvin Pickard or Connor Ingram?
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. And I think that's why I could understand why they're going to go with Ingram here tonight. And I'm assuming Pickard maybe plays the next Calgary game. We'll see. But I could see it kind of being 2-1 for Ingram over Pickard for a short period of time, just to see kind of what they have. And now, if he doesn't play well, obviously that number is going to change.
Yeah, I think that's sort of Pickard's disadvantage. Is we know exactly what Pickard is, and he's just fine as a number 2 backup goalie. Listen, Ingram's got 3 weeks or whatever he's got here. I don't know how long Jari's out, but he's in the real hard, ruthless world of professional sports. He's got 3 weeks to take Calvin Pickard's job here. And I'm not telling you he's driving to the rink thinking that tonight. He's not. But the reality is, when Jari comes back shortly thereafter, one of those guys is out of here. And, may the best man win, man. That's professional sports in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, no, it's true. The Calgary Flames come in winners of 6 of their last 8. They play a hard game. They're not overly offensive team. Their power play is brutal. You want to talk about yin and the opposite ends of the spectrum on the power play. You look at the Oilers and then you look at the Flames, and Calgary's at 14%. The Oilers are at 33%. It's very different. The Oilers are at 42% here in their last 10 games. They've actually been killing it, even with Draisaitl being number 5 shooter when it comes to goals on the power play. That's what's the scary part about it. They just can beat you in so many different ways. But the Flames, hey, October was terrible for them, but they've been decent since then. And we actually had Ryan Pinder on earlier. He gets a sense that he thinks the organization still might be thinking more about 8th place rather than a retool / rebuild right now. And that just seems like a misguided decision.
Well, so Pinder would know. He's pretty close to the team. I ranted yesterday, we're not doing this again, are we? I don't see any need to have the same rant again. Calgary, here's Calgary in a nutshell for me, Jay. My understanding, I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. There's 2 years left in the Saddle Dome, right?
Yeah, this year and next year.
This year, next year, or 2 years after this?
No, this year, next year. It's going to be open 27-28, I was told.
Okay. So either way, like I call me colloquial or call me small-minded. If I'm Calgary, I'm looking up the highway and I can't beat Edmonton. And I'm not beating them this year and I'm not beating them next year. And I got a new building coming. The time for pain is now for Calgary. The time to be lousy is right now. The Saddle Domes, they fill that thing and it's an old rink and revenues aren't so great. And it's in 2 years where you got a bunch of tickets to sell, a bunch of hope to sell. And, maybe a chance, maybe the Oilers fall over the edge a little bit. They're 2 years older. And maybe you can look at your fans in the eye and go, you know what, we can take that Oilers team on now because they can't today and they won't be able to next year. So to me, everything should be about when that new rink opens. And everything right now should be about getting ready for that rink opening. And that means sell, sell, sell. I know they don't like a rebuild. And I know Murray Edwards, the owner, it's a swear word in his books. And I point to their record. I point to their history. How's it worked so far? Absolutely crappy being in the mushy middle. So you know where I stand, man. It's time for Calgary to tear it down and get ready for the demise of the Oilers to step into that void and start winning games in Alberta instead of losing them.
How concerned do you think they should be in Winnipeg, Spec? Like the Winnipeg Jets are there. There's only Chicago below them in points in the NHL. Now they've got a slightly higher points percentage than Nashville, but in points, only Chicago is below the Winnipeg Jets. This team was in the second round of the playoffs last year, right? Like they've gone just
they're
down
good.
the tubes,
They
man.
got a good roster.
They do. On paper, they're good, but on the ice, they're brutal.
Yeah, this might be a year where the Winnipeg Jets just say, you know what? It's time to take a step back. Like, are you going to blow your brains out if you're the Jets and try to get better so you can make the playoffs in fourth place and have to go through Minnesota, Dallas, two of Minnesota, Dallas, and Calgary? Is that what you're going to do? It just might, it hasn't been their year. Hellebuck was out. A lot of things aren't going right there. They got one line that scores. I'm not sure that no one saw it coming. I'm not telling you I saw it coming, but if I'm Cheveldae off and you look at me and say, should we give up a bunch of stuff at the deadline and try to get better? I think I might sit this one out this year. What about you?
Oh yeah. Well, unless they go on a heater, which they've done before, Winnipeg might be a team that I wouldn't tear it down. Like they've got their core guys. They're having a bad year, right? And for a variety of different reasons, they're having a bad season. Now, I have noticed the Jets, I think, have the most cap space in the NHL. So if they wanted to, they could. Now, I don't think they're going to retain on guys like past this year, but I wouldn't be shocked if we can get some good pieces and retain salary for the guys who are pending UFAs for the rest of the year, right? Trade away a guy like Luke Schent, Colin Miller. Teams are always looking for defensemen, right?
Yep.
Tanner Pearson, not that he makes very much. Gustav Nyquist might be a guy it's crazy to think, but the Jets might be sellers at the rate they're going.
I know. No one saw it coming. I mean, it's somehow their lack of success, what's happened there this year. And a guy like Lowry's he's such a good player and he's had such a bad year. I like their organization. They draft well, they develop well, they make smart trades. They had to lose Trouba. They brought in Pionk, who turns out to be way better than anyone thought he was.
Yep.
They're smart and good, and they do it right. I don't know how they ended up where they're sitting today. But they got their guys like Scheifele and Connor and Hellebuck, who thought they'd sign long-term in Winnipeg. Guys are supposed to leave Winnipeg, but they didn't. Those guys signed up, man, for the program. So I think they do everything right in Winnipeg. I got a ton of respect for what's going on. Somehow I look at the standings to see where they are, and I go, what the heck's happening here? Like I say, I think it's just one of those years, man. It's been a lousy year, and to try to throw good money after bad and compete in that Central Division this year of all years, I like your plan better. Pick a few guys out of the herd, turn them into something for the future, and start building for next season.
The Connor McDavid train, Spec, him and Draisaitl have been in full gear. No question. They got it on turbo lately. McDavid's flying. I know Draisaitl doesn't have a goal in 8 games. He's got 15 points. I ain't worried about his game. at all. Zach Hyman starting to score. Podkolzin has chipped in. I think he's got 5 goals in the last 10 games. Savoy's got 4. Nugent Hopkins is over a point a game player this season. He's missed 9 games. And he still has 30 points. Like they're top 6 right now, Spec. Looks pretty damn good. But I still think they might be better off Nugent Hopkins as their third line center. What say you?
Well, there's a couple things here. Like as we approach the deadline, that's going to be a big decision. You know, there's because why are we saying this? We're saying this because Adam Henrique ain't getting the job done as a 3C, right? That's the first thing. If you had a third line center, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. So Adam Henrique, unless he turns it around, I'll take him at 4C, but he's not getting the job done as a third line center. So that makes me say what you're saying. Well, we got a third line center, but he's Connor McDavid's left winger. So here comes the deadline, right? What about Ike Howard? What about Ike Howard as Connor McDavid's left winger? I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know, right? Maybe, maybe, right? Or maybe there's a guy at the deadline. Maybe Alex Tuck. You get a hold of him and you go, okay, there's my left winger. So now I bring Nugent Hopkins down. He's my 3C. Here's my wild theory of the day. Okay.
Yeah.
The wild theory of the day is if I run the Edmonton Oilers, if I'm Stan Bowman, I want Trent Frederick long-term to be my third line center. I want him to go away this summer and start working on his game. I want him to turn into John Madden. I want him to turn into Craig McTavish. I want to turn him into Manny Malhotra, right? He's big. Okay. I want to turn into Adam Lowry.
Okay.
Like he's big. He can check. He skates okay. Third line center. You don't have to be fleet of foot. He's big. That's what in that a perfect world on this team where my top 2 centers are so good. I want Trent Frederick to be my 3C, and that's the job for him. And you think he can do it? What do you think?
Well, it would be good. It would be good if he could, Spec. It would be good if he could. So.
Right? Couldn't he turn into like who's that cat that was for Anaheim for so long? Sammy Paulson. Can't he be Sammy Paulson? Guy was one of the best third line centers in the history of the game.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. He's never really been a full-time center, so I guess it's possible, but that's a pretty big Christmas aspect. You never a problem to ask Santa Claus for something like that. So.
Right. That's right. Send Frederick up to the North Pole, man.
Well, get him on the Polar Express.
He becomes a 3C.
Well, right now he's got to jump on board the McDavid and Draisaitl Express because it's rolling, and he doesn't want to get left behind. So
it's running out of chairs when guys start coming. More guys come back here. Running out of chairs, and they're going to have to find room for Ike Howard at some point this year if he keeps playing like he's playing down there.
Yeah, they might, and that's not a bad problem to have at all. Here's my one wild outside the box thinking. I know it would take some. They already made a trade with the GM once, and it would take some other money finagling. But you know who I would like to see in Edmonton? Jenny Malkin.
Whoa, Jenny Malkin.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, you play Malkin big, but the guy is a playoff performer. Spec. He hasn't been and hasn't had any playoff success in 8 years. I think that guy get back in the playoffs, right? And because you got to remember, he was the one who openly mentioned the Brad Marchand situation, right? He saw it. He looked and said, "Now the Marchand situation worked out perfect. There's been lots of guys that get traded and doesn't work, right?" But he doesn't see the not working. He sees, oh, it worked, and would he want to go somewhere? And trust me, you got McDavid and Draisaitl. Guys are like, I go there, but they got a really good chance. I think I could, compliment them quite well. I'm just telling you, man. And the thing I like about Malkin is he has a subtle, dirty side to his game that I like in the playoffs.
Where would you play him?
I could play him on the wing. I could even, if I want to play him as my second line center at times and move Draisaitl to the wing, with McDavid. I think you got options. I could still have Nugent Hopkins, right? Then you got some real options. So.
Yeah, what's he make?
He makes $6 million, so they retain half, and then that's why I said you got to move some more money out to make it happen. But I'm just saying that's a guy that I would be quite interested in. I've talked about it for a few weeks, and I'm looking at it. Pittsburgh lost again today, Spec. They are going exactly where we thought they would. It just took a little bit longer for them to get there because they got off to a good start, but the Penguins just aren't that good, right? They're just not.
Skinner hasn't won a game yet.
Yeah. Hey, they. They're on the way down, and like the Buffalo Sabres, who have won 6 in a row, could pass them today. Wild.
Well, listen, I'm with you. I saw Pittsburgh not being a playoff team this year. I'll tell you right now, I didn't see Boston being a playoff team this year, and they're not fading that much here. They're playing pretty good hockey. So call me wrong on Boston, but I see them both as teams heading for the bottom of the cycle, and Pittsburgh for sure. And poor Stu Skinner. We all know Stu's MO here. When the Oilers played a really solid, sound, good defensive game, he was enough goaltender, and they won most nights. When they didn't, and when they weren't very good, Stu never stole very many games. That was just his deal here. He wasn't a guy that stole you games when you didn't deserve to win. Well, now he finds himself in front of a team that needs a goalie that's going to steal a whole bunch of games when they don't deserve to win. And I think we all know how that book's going to end.
Yeah. Spec, have yourself a wonderful Christmas.
You coming to the rink tonight?
I am not coming to the rink tonight. No, I have some family plans, so I will be there in spirit, Spec. So you enjoy the game, and we will chat with you next Monday. Merry Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Jay. And we'll be on the air. Who's running your show tomorrow?
With the afternoon show, we're off the air at noon for the live shows. We go till they got the morning show and then Fantasy Frenzy, and then we are off.
Okay. All right. Well, Merry Christmas to all the listeners out there. Everybody have some fun. Be safe. Get after it. Spend some time with the family. And don't watch too much sports. All those Christmas Day games, man, do something else, will you? For Pete's sakes.
Oh, dude, yeah. There's no TV on in my place, so that's for sure.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Have a good one. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break. We'll return. Oh, we are close. So close. My math is correct. $200. That's all we need. $200 to get to our goal today. 833-401-1440.
At GS Construction, we focus on building a culture of collaboration, innovation, and respect. Our teams work together, supporting one another and striving towards shared goals. We're committed to creating a work environment that empowers individuals, values teamwork, and ensures everyone feels respected and safe. With decades of experience in the field, GS Construction prioritizes our people, our culture, and safety. This is what makes us unique. To find out more, go to gsconstruction.ca.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Cheer on the teams. Help a good cause. The Benz Cup is coming to the Ardrossan Recreation Center, December 26th to 30th. 100% of the proceeds help the Ben Stelter Foundation bring proton beam therapy to Edmonton. Learn more at benscup.com. Proudly supported by Sports 1440.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. Drive away for as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock with something for everyone. From budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Doc. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
$532. Big shout out to John and Debbie from Phoenix Equipment. They came in with that $700. And then we have $100 from Wazzy and $100 from Gary. And that puts us to our goal and just slightly over. So awesome stuff. Now, hey, we got 20 minutes left. Anybody's got $100 burning a hole in their pocket, let us know. 833-401-1440. We can send you a link, and hey, you can make your Christmas donation be a good thing. Maybe you're sending some good karma to the orders. Either way, thank you, everybody. We'll get the official number, but we're over $145,000 for the month of giving this year, helping out lots of different charities who need it this time of year. So thank you very much. I know Stephanie and the Christmas Bureau are extremely grateful for all the generosity of all of our listeners and business owners and, all the people that do, like those business owners who donate the packages, right? From, Legacy Heating donates a furnace, and A1 donates a furnace. And, we had the golf package donated from Blackhawk, and Culligan with that home water system, which is amazing, and all the other packages. So thanks to everybody who donated packages, to those who bid on packages, those who donated the Pyramid of Giving and did the Christmas challenge. It's truly remarkable that when a group of us come together, we can do a lot of stuff to help out a lot of people. So that is awesome. Now, let's get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. You name it, they got it. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Or sorry, at the Volvo Cars Edmonton. GoAuto.ca. God, what a terrible error on my part. GoAuto.ca. So my bad. I got a lot of companies on my mind right now. So my apologies for that. GoAuto.ca has over 15,000 vehicles, 69 locations to choose from. Let's get to Derek Van Diest from the NHL.com. DVD, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm great. Generosity of our listeners and companies and everybody, which is fantastic. So we're able to help out a lot of charities at a time of year where they need a lot of help. So that's awesome. The Edmonton Oilers right now, the one thing they don't need help is scoring goals. Right now they're on fire with 44 goals in their last 10 games. And like that, basically they're scoring a goal and a half more in the last 10 than they did in their first 27. Like their offense has really picked up their stride here lately.
Yeah, it has. And I think a lot has to do with the return of obviously Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And now, you got Jack Roslovic back. And I think their top six is set. Like their top six, I think it's the first time they've been together for the last couple of games all year. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And McDavid is flying right now. He's playing unworldly hockey. He looks like that player that can just dominate the way he is. And what I've noticed lately is that he's not afraid to take guys on. He's not afraid to shoot the puck. And I think early on, he was kind of playing around in the perimeter and looking and dishing and I guess trying to help everyone else get going. But I think it's a matter of once he gets going, once he kind of takes charge, everything else falls into place. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that. The second line of Podkolzin and Draisaitl, they're playing well. Draisaitl doesn't have a goal. I think it's 8 games without a goal. But I think he's playing well. He's got 15 or 16 points. So he's playing well in that regard. But yeah, I think once the top 2 lines are kind of set and, early on in the season, they were kind of mixing, matching, looking for combinations, looking for guys to play because they didn't have those 6 guys together. Now that they do, I think they can build from there.
Well, it definitely helps getting Roslovic back, no question. I think once he gets back into game shape, that'll be a big boost for them, especially how he was playing early on. But he's got to get back there, right? That's going to be the key. He was maybe their most consistent guy when he was in there, him and Nugent Hopkins. And you look, Podkolzin's game has really come around. Adam Henrique, like I think at this stage, he's probably asking too much of him to be a third line center. I think if he's your fourth line center, it's just he's slotted in a better spot. What do you think?
No, I agree. At this time because your third line center has to contribute offensively, and Adam Henrique isn't really doing much of that. He's out there. There's a lot of times we kind of don't notice him. I know he does a lot of the little things well, and I know he plays well in his own zone defensively. But yeah, I think that the time has come where you need some contributions from that third line. You need some offensive contributions from the third line. So they're not getting it right now from him. So you got to wonder, well, so who do you find as your third line center? Is that something that you go out and look for? You go look for a winger to play in the top 6 to bring Nugent Hopkins down and play in your third line. I think there's combinations there to be had in the bottom 6. But I think overall all those guys in that bottom 6 have to play a little bit better, have to do a little bit more. And I think there's competition now for those spots. And once you guys start getting back, when they start getting healthy, there's going to be competition and they're going to kind of push each other. And I think that's going to be a good thing for the Oilers because you need everyone pulling on the rope. You need everyone pulling in the same direction. And at some point, like I've said before, your bottom half of the lineup's got to pick up their end of the couch. You can't just have the top guys doing all the work offensively. You have to chip in every now and then. And they haven't been doing much of that this season. So they're going to have to try and turn it around.
Yeah, that's fair. Derek Van Diest joins us. DVD, what's your expectations for Ingram? And how close of a battle do you think this is going to be between him and Pickard on who stays when Jari returns?
Well, I think Ingram still needs more time. I think he's up here. They want to see what he has, and I think that's why he got the start today. I'm pretty sure they'll go back with Calvin Pickard when they start playing again in Calgary. I think they want to give him a little bit of a run here and see, okay, what do we actually have in Connor Ingram? Where is he? This is a guy that had a lot of success in Arizona a couple of years ago. He's made 48 starts, played 50 games, had a really good save percentage on a kind of a bad team, Jason. Like Arizona was still a young team. They were still trying to find their way. And he had him in a situation where people were thinking, hey, maybe the Coyotes can make a playoffs here. So I think they're hoping he kind of gets back to that. Obviously, he's had some issues off the ice that he's had to deal with. And we're talking to him yesterday. He looked like he was in a good place. Like he looks like he's in a good place now. He's had a good support group. He's gotten through whatever he needed to get through. And I think the Oilers now want to say, okay, what do we have in him? Like they know what they have in Calvin Pickard. They know what they're going to get in Calvin Pickard. What do you have in Connor Ingram here? And can you go with Connor Ingram? And I think they're going to have some time because I know they say Jari in the new year. I think he might be further along than that. There's a lot of hockey to be played in January, so they may need 3 goaltenders to get through all those games in January. So it's going to be interesting to see. So it'll be good to see what kind of start he has. but he did look calm in net. He looked composed the other night. He's a guy that plays his angles and tries to anticipate the play, as he said. He's not terribly athletic, he said. So he's got to try and see where the puck is going and try to anticipate that. I thought he did that really well, but he's very composed. And the interesting thing he said too the other night is that sometimes it's easier to play in the NHL than it is the AHL. Like those numbers in the AHL weren't good, but it's such a scrambly game down there sometimes that it really kind of doesn't benefit a goalie. So coming up here, it's a bit more predictable. He knows what his defensemen are going to do. He knows probably what the forwards are going to do. So it's a bit more predictable. So sometimes it is easier coming up here and playing in the National Hockey League than it is in the American Hockey League. And I've heard that from quite a few players, just because the players are so much better and it's not as the game has more flow. And there's more predictability to it. So we'll see if we can get a good run here, if we can get a couple of good starts, and if the Oilers can kind of keep winning. And yeah, it might be interesting to see whether or not he's ready to come up here on a full-time basis. But I do believe that until they decide Pickard is no longer going to be our number 2 and they ship him off, he's still going to be here as the number 2 guy, because now he's the veteran guy. Jarry comes back. How healthy is he going to be? There's a lot of questions in goal for the Edmonton Oilers right now.
Yeah, for sure. Derek Van Diest joins us. When Jake Wallman comes back, then there's Stastny, Regula, Emberson. Assuming everybody's healthy, who would you take out of the lineup?
Well, I think Emberson would come out right now because I think those other two are playing really well. And I think those other two, I think Stastny's playing a little better than people anticipated. And I think that happens when you get on a better team and you're playing in the slot that you're supposed to. And I think that really helps out a player when, you're supposed to play, let's say, in a bottom pairing role, or you're playing a little further down the lineup. I think in Nashville, he was probably asked to play a few too many minutes. It was a tough. The team wasn't very good. They were really struggling, and so I don't think that kind of embodies a player what he's able to do when he's playing on a team that's struggling. He comes in here, he's slotted in a certain spot. He's playing with some veteran guys, and he's not being asked to do too much. Play solid defensively, get the puck to your forwards, clear the front of the net, and I think he's doing things like that. I think, and Regula's had, I think, a really good season when he's healthy. So I think Emberson would be the odd man out, but I'd also would like to see what level Wallman comes back and where his game is at, and whether or not you kind of have to ease him back into the lineup, or you can just throw him back in and he's going to be the player that we saw last year in the playoffs. So it's a good problem to have when you have a lot of defensemen that you can insert into the lineup and you can kind of move them around and play them from game to game. Like, you look at January, that schedule is absolutely loaded. Like, I think they have 15 games in January. So you're going to need 7-8 defensemen. You're going to need a lot of guys. You're going to need to use your full roster come January to get through there until you get that Olympic break.
Yeah, well, the good news for the Oilers is they play a lot, but they're at home basically for the majority of it, right? Like they start at home on New Year's Eve against the Boston Bruins. Then and that's on a Wednesday. Then they play the Saturday. They have one set of two sets of back-to-back, because they play Chicago, Nashville, then they're in Vancouver and home to St. Louis, and that's it. Like, they've got a really favorable January schedule with 4 road games and only 2 of them outside the country, right? So you're only clearing customs kind of, once going to Chicago and then coming back from Nashville, and that's it, right? So, and the rest are at home. That's a real big advantage, I think, for the Oilers. And they've been a good team on home ice. Like, they made hay now, but January set up, if they want to, they could really go on a run here.
Yeah, and they don't go out east anymore. They're done with that Eastern time zones, which is it's amazing, I think, to have that over and done with before Christmas. So they got through the tough part of the schedule. They made it through the other side. They're still right there in contention for first place in the division. And yeah, they have to make the most of January. They're at home the whole month. And you're right, they don't go far. I think, what is it, Chicago and Nashville. So those aren't two, you look at those teams, they're not daunting road games by any means. And then you got Vancouver and Winnipeg. Winnipeg's not playing well. Vancouver's in transition. So yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't win all those 4 road games. And then, you have to try and make a move in January because you got a ton of home games. You're at home basically the entire month. So yeah, that's when the owners, I think, will try to make a move and kind of get to first place and maybe try and get some separation. They're lucky that the Pacific isn't as good this season because all the teams are kind of stuck around and they're compacted. You look at the teams in the Central, they would have, if they're in the Central, Colorado and Dallas would have ran away with it, and I don't think you'd catch those guys. But I think, they have an opportunity here. They finish strong tonight. They come back, and then they look at that schedule and say, okay, we have a chance to really make a move up the standings.
DVD, thanks so much, man, for joining us all throughout the year. Very much appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome Christmas, and we'll talk to you one more time, I guess, to wrap up 25. So have a great Christmas for all you and your family.
Likewise, Merry Christmas to you and all the listeners. So good talking to you.
You betcha. That's Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. We'll take our final break, come back, wrap things up on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seater chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com.
The Bricks Boxing Day blowout is back. Be one of the first 10 customers in line to receive a $50 credit towards any purchase. Plus, shop incredible 5-hour door crashers, like 70% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. And all day, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit towards furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Plus, free local delivery on purchases over $4.99. Some exclusions apply. The Brick, saving you more.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. And ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. But what's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada, prices exclude delivery.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
We continue on. Busy Tuesday. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll try to get the final number here before the show is over, but I know we're over 145K, which is awesome for the month of giving. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's time now for the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charge. Your furnace conks out over the holidays. LegacyHeating.ca. They'll help you out. No overtime charges. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Always wanted to be in radio, and now through the wonders of technology, his words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
'Twas about 3 hours before puck drop. All through the rink, the crowd buzzed with noise and questionable drinks. Jerseys were stretched over hoodies and tees, and everyone argued whose team was the bee's knees. The Oilers were ready, skates sharp, feeling cool. The Flames taped their sticks like, "This year, we're no fools." Both teams said it loudly. Both teams said it proud, while the fans said it louder and twice as unloud. From high in the stands came a chant and a roar. Fans leaned toward the glass, yelling, "One more!" The lights hit the ice, so bright it felt fake, like the rink was sponsored by highlighter tape. Then what to my wondering eyes should appear but Coach Knobloch himself with 8 Oilers reindeer, with McDavid and Draisaitl leading the sleigh, Nugent Hopkins and Hyman not far away. On Bouchard, on Nurse, on Ekholm with might, on Ingram between pipes, calm, ready, and tight. With a calm little smile and a very neat suit, he looked like St. Nick, if St. Nick coached a forecheck route. He paced by the bench like he'd already planned exactly what happens. Don't ask, he won't say, man. He checked off his list twice, then once more for fun, because double checking is how games are won. Then Hunter ran out with a drum and a bounce, making more noise than a school gym at lunch. He danced down the aisle, nearly tripped on a stair, but played it off smooth like he meant to do that there. Across by the tunnel stood Harvey the Hound, waving like, "Yep, Flames fans, I'm still around." He flexed for the camera, struck poses galore, then waved at Hunter like, "See you next roar." The mascots teamed up for a wave and a spin, because even rivals know when to grin. Blue jerseys, red jerseys, laughing together, because trash talk is better when it's light as a feather. The anthem was coming, the crowd on its feet. Phones held up high for a very short tweet. The refs checked their watches, the Zamboni's gone. Everyone ready? Cool. Now let's just drop the puck already. Come on! From everyone at the 2-minute warning, the research department, janitors, makeup department, hairstylists, Rico, our chef, our transportation department, and our inspirational leader, Mufti the cat. A very happy holiday season to you and yours. Thanks so much for listening. There you go. Thanks for coming.
Oh, Tater. He is a poet and didn't know it. Thank you, everyone. $145,300. Thank you very much to all who participated and those who just listened and didn't complain that sometimes we didn't talk sports. Very much appreciate it all. Have yourselves a wonderful Christmas. We have Sports 1440 on tonight, post-game show. Then, of course, early in the morning tomorrow with the Duke. Tomorrow, have yourselves a great evening. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a very, very Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you soon. Here's the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Wishing all of you and all of yours happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, legacyheating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers and Flames down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7. Our pregame coming up next with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson right now. In the second period, the Red Wings up on the Stars 1-0 after 20. The Rangers have a 1-0 lead over the Caps. Canadians trail the Bruins 2-1. Sens and Sabres tied at 1 apiece. Devils up on the Islanders 1-0. And down in Carolina, Canes lead the Panthers 1-0. In the association tonight, Toronto Raptors right now lead the Heat 16-7. You got the Bucks trailing the Pacers 13-11. In the second quarter, Wizards up on the Hornets 47-44. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Yeah, it's Sports 1440. A sting.